and first morning weather. Weeknights on Fox News at 9.
Major League Baseball Productions presents This Week in Baseball, your inside access to the game.
Oh my God, this one is over.
When a ball leaves the ballpark, it's a sight to behold.
Deep right field. Track, wall, goodbye.
But occasionally, a player will really connect and hit a tape measure blast that produces a sense of awe in everyone who gets to witness it.
Rarefied real estate in the upper deck. Wow.
And the players themselves are no different. They too can be mesmerized by a ball that is sent into the stratosphere.
I mean, you talk about breaking out the tape measure. That was a blast.
So we asked them, which of their peers hits the most majestic home runs?
Seems to me like Pujols, he's the one always crushing the ball.
And here's a long one to left. That's going to go out of here. Pujols put it in orbit. One of the longest home runs here at Busch Stadium.
Opinions vary on who hits them the farthest, but everyone has their favorite.
I think that's a no-brainer. We're going to have to go Prince Fielder on that.
Fielder launches one to right. That one's well hit. And way back. Goodbye, Prince Fielder.
Beautiful left-handed swing, uppercut. His ball's not only high, but far.
Oh, boy. If that's fair, that is long gone. That is a fair ball. Second deck home run for Prince Fielder.
They're fun to watch on TV, not as fun to watch when you're in the same ballpark.
Yeah, but deep inside, even the guys on the other team get a chill when they see someone connect on the sweet spot.
I think Josh Hamilton's home runs are some of the most amazing to watch.
Uh-oh. He's done it again.
Kind of just break down his swing. You can tell why he's just so special. He generates so much power.
Hamilton launching. Upper tank home run. He is amazing.
When he connects with balls, they just don't seem to come down.
Meyer going back, but I don't think that's playable. It is over the third wall out there.
Ryan Howard, I mean, you can't forget Ryan Howard. I mean, Ryan Howard hits 450-plus foot home runs every year.
Looking up, looking back, looking gone. This one deep and gone for Ryan Howard.
There's very few hitters that they'll hit a fly ball and you're like, okay, that's like really, really out of here.
That baby's way out of here, and that's one of the longer shots to right center this year at Turner Field.
He has that ability to go opposite field so much that he just can hit some really, really deep balls that are really high in the sky.
And in the course of our survey, one name kept coming up.
Adam Dunn himself. Big Donkey. Yeah. He hits a home run. I mean, he goes a long way.
He has incredible power. Whenever he hits the ball, as an outfielder, you just don't move. You just watch the ball, leave the ball apart.
Racing back is Young. He'll turn to watch, and where will it land? Gone.
I remember a walk-off last year against Philadelphia at home that it went way up in that upper deck, and I didn't know somebody could hit it that far.
See you later. Game over.
When he would hit one, it just seemed that it just never came down.
All Adam has to do is just touch it. He's that strong.
He's so big. All his balls are just sky high and way back.
That one is way back there. My goodness. How far will it fly?
He's a big boy, and he puts a lot behind it, and he hits those balls. Some of those balls that never come down.
That ball ends up in a different area code.
That is a long home run for Adam Dunn.
This Week in Baseball is brought to you by Pepsi Max.
0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Tommy, T-H-O.
CC, glad you made it.
Ricky wins again.
Oh, what is this place?
Iowa, only with maximum Pepsi taste and 0 calories.
Whoa.
I love it when he does that.
Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball.
There are some baseball moments you just never forget.
And look who's coming up. She is gone!
And by building fields across this country, Chevrolet is proud to continue to support the famous moments still to come. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to enter for a chance for your community to win a field makeover.
Fox Mother's Day Sunday has got you covered.
Oh, that's so good.
We're showing the love with all new episodes.
Gonna slip into something more comfortable?
My lazy pants, yes.
Nice comeback.
On one priceless night.
$100? How much is that in smackaroos?
100.
Woohoo! It all starts at 7/6 Central tomorrow on Fox. Every team in the major leagues has players with the ability to rocket the ball right out of the park.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Off the top of the American flagpole.
But there are any number of players in the game today who can rob home runs.
Way over the fence. Are you kidding me?
So many of the outfielders coming up nowadays are so athletic, and they're so sleek, and they're so fast, and they have that ability to get to the wall and make those type plays.
That is a big-time major league effort.
It is pretty amazing. You got to have the time the ball off the bat. How far are you from the wall?
Back goes Upton, feeling for the wall.
When to jump. How to jump.
Times it perfectly up against the fence.
When to get your arm up and over.
Goes up as high as he can go up and pulls that ball back into the ballpark.
It takes a very, very special person to be able to put all that together and make those types of catches.
Oh, my
He got it.
goodness.
So who are the best home run thieves in all of baseball? Who better to ask than the players?
Say our guy Dexter Fowler is right up there. I think he can jump well and just kind of a young, exciting player.
He got it. What a play by Fowler.
I seen him make really good catches. He saved us a lot last year.
You see Adam Jones doing it in Baltimore.
And he got it. Oh, what a catch.
Sometimes the best athletes are right there in center field.
A spectacular play by the Orioles center fielder.
You know, you got Ichiro out there in right field for the Mariners. Does a pretty good job of that and knows his way around the wall.
And he climbs the wall to bring it down. Gonna make a jump for it. Wow, he made the catch. Oh, brother. Ichiro.
Wow. He can get pretty creative out there. Almost turn himself into an alias, like Spider-Man or something.
Caught it again. Superman. He's like Spider-Man today.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one Spider-Man in this game. And few are better at protecting their territory.
Torrey Hunter.
I'm about to go Torrey Hunter.
Still got to give it to Torrey Hunter.
Torrey Hunter, I mean, he's a specialist at that.
Hunter's back at the wall, makes the catch.
He can do it in his sleep. That's routine.
Anytime you need me, you got it.
He gets to a lot of balls that other people don't get to.
At the wall, leaps. What a catch by Torrey Hunter.
Read his lips. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm out there to take hits from everybody, and I feel good when I look at you guys. Heads are down and you're not talking to me. I really thrive off that.
And that ball goes in the air, and if it's high,
Deep to center field.
and there's a chance.
Way back is Hunter.
Being a hitter, you might as well just go ahead and tell yourself, there's a chance that this ball's probably going to get caught.
He took a home run away right there.
Don't never test us. We will pass the test.
I've always enjoyed watching Torrey play the outfield. I remember seeing him in the All-Star game in Milwaukee.
Take a home run away from Barry Bonds.
I say you, Big Daddy. I say you.
This Spider-Man is an equal opportunity thief, looking to catch anyone's home run in his web.
I'm trying to take hits away from you and you and you.
Holy mackerel, what a catch. He definitely robbed a homer. What a play.
Even me, I will rob myself to rob you.
And now, here's Twibia. Torrey Hunter's the 12th Angels player ever to hit 3 home runs in one game. We asked Ron Gant who the only Angel is with 2 3-home run games. Is it Tim Salmon, Reggie Jackson, Troy Gloss, or Doug DeCinces? Ron?
I'm going to say Troy Gloss. I played with him and had a lot of power. I know I'm probably wrong on this one, but
Well, a cinch this was not, for it was Doug DeCinces who did it twice, both times in August of 1982.
Figures it would be the smallest guy in the group.
Next up, Holiday Inn presents Winning Road Trips, where we salute the teams and players that come up big away from home.
I think as a broadcaster, you're pretty much not doing your job if you don't tell everybody listening that this guy's got a no-hitter going.
This guy, of course, is Francisco Liriano of the Minnesota Twins, who was visiting Chicago this week when he unfurled the season's first no-no.
He has done it! Francisco Liriano has pitched a no-hitter over the Chicago White Sox.
The throw home. Safe! And the Red Sox win it. Back. That ball is gone.
Can you imagine the game played on anything less than the most beautiful grass you've ever seen?
And that's your ball game.
Neither can we. Scott's, official lawn care company of Major League Baseball.
Now we're hitting the road with the Pro Glide Challenge. Yo, my friend, come on down here. What do you think about that Pro Glide?
Yeah, this is great. This thing is fantastic.
Feels good on my sensitive skin.
I don't feel like I'm shaving.
Fusion Pro Glide is engineered with Gillette's thinnest blades ever.
It feels like it's doing the work for me.
So it glides for less tug and pull.
It was smooth.
This was fantastic. I'm having way too much fun with this razor.
Turn shaving into gliding with Fusion Pro Glide.
I'm a believer.
He is a believer! Yeah! Gillette Fusion Pro Glide.
Bro, where's your car? It's okay. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Oh, hey, Jake.
My car got jacked.
I got it.
Ladies, guess you're walking. You got those figures for me yet?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there with an intern. Nice work.
Casual Wednesdays!
Oh, what?
State Farm agents are there when you need them.
I like your messy hair. I like the clothes you wear. I like the way you sing. And when you dance with me, you always make.
We believe you're at your best when you can relax and be yourself. And at thousands of newly refreshed Holiday Inn Express hotels, you always can. Holiday Inn Express. Stay you. And now, stay ahead of the game. Book early and save up to 20%.
Dustin Pedroia and the Red Sox battle the Twins. Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Lowe's. Today, 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific.
We now return to TWIB, where this week on Pepsi Max Presents, we continue to answer the question, what would it be like to watch every inning of every Major League game for the entire 2011 season? And thanks to our two intrepid superfans in the MLB Fan Cave, we're learning week by week.
See? Laughter. We're getting along already. I like this. You gonna come by the cave when we're in there?
The Cave is a high-tech, interactive hardball haven featuring resident caveman Mike O'Hara, a.k.a. Mikey O.
Sir, can I borrow your bike? No.
And wingman Ryan Thickish Wagner.
We at the Fan Cave, we're gonna get deeper into this issue, and soon.
It's here they'll watch every single game this year. There's no question that the Fan Cave attracts some of the best baseball players in the game today. But this week, Mike welcomed a soccer superstar, one who's been known to spend some time around baseball. Well, at least that's who Mike thought he was entertaining.
Let me tell you something, man. I am not a giant fan of Spice Girls. Talented ladies, but just not my bag musically. But nice pull with Posh Spice, man. She is lovely, just delightful.
That's not me. I'm Gordon Beckham. I'm not David Beckham. I've never been to England. I've never played soccer. I play baseball.
Two-run double by Gordon Beckham. He's not good. He's awesome.
Once again, I'm Gordon Beckham. Gordon Beckham, not David Beckham.
British royalty has been a hot topic this week. So Mike and Ryan joined in the fun.
Well, this is our first time having a high tea. What kind of decor would they have to wear or anything like when they have this?
Hats and gloves, sort of.
Got some gloves for you? Rock the gloves, because we want to be,
right.
This is our first high tea, so we want to make sure we're like in lockstep with tradition.
Wow, there's a tang to that, huh? You're not messing around there.
High tea proved a bit tart on the tongue, so they were pleasantly surprised by the Midwestern food that tickled their ribs in the Fan Cave.
I figured you needed to taste what it's like to be at the ballpark. And we have the ribs at Target Field, and what better place to have them than at the Fan Cave?
We're asking the rest of you food purveyors throughout Major League Baseball, bring your food to the cave. Good stuff.
Gillette now presents the Rookie of the Month, honoring the league's top rookies throughout the season.
Welcome to the show!
We'd like you to meet a pair of rookies who captured the awards for April. First up is Seattle's Michael Pineda.
Struck him out!
Pineda went 4-1 with a 2.01 ERA in his first month in the majors.
Michael Pineda slams the door.
And Barney will get the game-tying RBI.
And Chicago's Darwin Barney hit .326 this past month with 14 RBIs.
That's very deep to left for Darwin. Barney gone! How about these two kids?
They're just playing ball.
This Week in Baseball is brought to you by Pepsi Max.
0 calories. Maximum Pepsi taste.
Tommy. T-H-O.
CC. Glad you made it. Ricky wins again.
Oh, what is this place?
Iowa. Only with maximum Pepsi taste and 0 calories.
Whoa.
I love it when he does that.
Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball.
So you're telling me you watch every single game all season long right here on the couch? What if you get hungry?
Here.
Help yourself to a leg or something.
Yeah.
MLBFanCave.com. Follow it on Twitter. Like it on Facebook. Interact all season long.
Idol's Final Four are mentored by one of the biggest singers in the world, Lady Gaga.
I am here to win this thing.
I want to stay true to me and be me.
I feel like I'm here for a reason.
I'm going all the way.
The finale's almost here.
Vote for your favorite and keep them safe.
Who do you love? Vote for your idol live Wednesday on Fox.
You know the saying, don't like the weather in Iowa? Wait 5 minutes and it'll change. Well, Mace Michaels does like the weather in Iowa. That's why he came here to CBS 2 and Fox 28 from Florida. Mace has been a forecaster in Wisconsin too, so he understands our weather patterns. Now, he uses experience from different climates and the first warning weather system to keep you safe. Chief Meteorologist Mace Michaels and First Warning Weather, only on CBS 2 and Fox News at 9.
To play baseball right, you've got to execute the fundamentals of the game.
Fundamentals, youngsters. Keep working at it. Uh-huh.
And who better to learn from than the experts at MLB Network with this week's Diamond Demo. Robbing home runs is a hot topic this week, so Harold Reynolds and Brian Jordan offered some tips.
Brian Jordan going into the corner at the wall. He leaps and makes the catch.
Whatever ballpark you go into, the first day, you want to get out there in the outfield. You want to see how many strides you can get in on that warning track before you're at the wall. The last thing you want to do, Harold, is going back on the ball, reaching back. Instead, you want to know where that is, get that stride, and jump as high as you can.
At the wall, leaping, he took it away. He got it.
As soon as my first foot hit the gravel, I knew I had 1, 2 full strides, and it was time to jump up and go get it.
Backing up is Brian Jordan. He jumps at the fence, and he makes a one-handed catch. He timed it beautifully.
I'm going to go ahead and just flip it nice and easy.
Just flip it.
All right, here we go. Let's see if Brian Jordan still... Oh, I made you work, too. He got up.
Few things in baseball delight us more than a soaring home run.
Deep center field, way back.
But the ones that leave the park when the stakes are the highest
We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. Who steps up? And I'm sure a lot of folks hold their breath.
are the ones we never forget.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
A game-winning walk-off home run, Mr. November. There it goes, a long drive. If it stays back.
Let's narrow it down even further to the epic home runs that were also the most improbable. The 51 New York Giants overcame a 13-game deficit to force a playoff for the pennant with Brooklyn. And it all came down to the 9th inning of the 3rd game.
2 runners on base, 1 out. The Giants trailing 4-2. Bobby Thompson up.
I knew the position I was in, and I remember just getting a glimpse of it and jumping on it.
A stunning 3-run homer from Bobby Thompson that echoes around the world.
The man who was the spearhead of the Dodger offense throughout the year will not see any action tonight for sure.
Kirk Gibson was so hobbled by injuries at the start of the '88 World Series, no one expected him to play against the heavily favored Oakland A's.
It's in the bottom of the 9th inning. We are losing 3-2.
Gibson says to Lasorda, well, he thinks he has one good swing in him.
And look who's coming up. And with 2 out, you talk about a roll of the dice. This is it. High fly ball into right field.
He must have just got it right on the sweet spot, and it's gone.
She is gone! I don't believe what I just saw!
Game 7 of the 1960 World Series between the powerful Yankees and the Pittsburgh Pirates was tied in the 9th. The stage was set for perhaps the most improbable home run of all.
Bill Mazeroski will lead off in the last of the 9th.
I'm thinking all I got to do is hit the ball hard. Don't try to do anything fancy or be a hero or anything. Just try to hit the ball hard.
Just swinging a high fly ball going deep left, and they do it. It is over the Pirates win.
All I'm thinking, we beat the Yankees. We beat them. We beat them. We beat the Yankees.
In one of the most dramatic finishes on history, the Pirates are the world champions of 1960.
It was something.
On Billy Mazeroski's home run.
These guys went all out, and so can you for your community. Get your local ballpark chosen to receive a big league makeover, equipment packages, and instructional clinics by logging on to ChevyBaseball.com. Chevy and Scott's, building diamonds and dreams.
This one's gonna do it. She is out of here.
Our State Farm Big League Blast this week took place in Tampa Bay, where B.J. Upton brought the game to a crushing and sudden end.
And a long drive. Hit deep into left center field. Gone. He hit a fastball out of here. And B.J. drilled it into left center field and into the seats to give the Rays a 3-2 win.
This Week in Baseball is brought to you by Pepsi Max.
0 calories. Maximum Pepsi taste.
Tommy. T-H-O.
CC, glad you made it. Ricky wins again.
Oh, what is this place?
Iowa, only with maximum Pepsi taste and 0 calories.
Whoa.
I love it when he does that.
Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball.
The throw home. Safe. And the Red Sox win it. Back. That ball is gone.
Can you imagine the game played on anything less than the most beautiful grass you've ever seen?
And that's your ball game.
Neither can we. Scott's, official lawn care company of Major League Baseball.
Have you tried one of these? It's so good. Man, I can't believe we haven't done this before. Oh, wow, look at that.
Bite.
Oh, shit. You're aging. Do the jingle. Do the jingle. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hey, guys. Do it again. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. In my office.
State Farm.
I think we're good.
State Farm agents are there when you need them.
There are some baseball moments you just never forget.
And look who's coming up. She is gone.
And by building fields across this country, Chevrolet is proud to continue to support the famous moments still to come. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to enter for a chance for your community to win a field makeover.
America's pastime is on Fox. It's a slugfest in Beantown as Dustin Pedroia and the Red Sox take on the Twins. Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Lowe's. Today, 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific.
The moment has arrived for the week's top plays. Set to the song Worrying by the Joy Formidable.
You want to say something to the TV?
Great stuff, great stuff. Everybody fired up.
Let's go to work. We're off to a good start.
Great backhand play by Longoria. Look at that throw.
Vamos, 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 vamos.
On the run, and he makes the play.
No way. Everybody's going to go on fire today.
High and deep right center field. There's a drive. And this baby is gone. 3-run shot. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. Gone, a home run. We're walking on a winner.
I won't complain about that.
Trying for two. And he is out of there.
On to third base, and it's in time to get him.
You got to be faster than that.
Unbelievable.
Highlight real defense.
It's his turn to make a play.
On the ground towards second base. It is second for one on the first.
Got him! Wow, what a play!
That's strikeout number 11. Swing and miss.
How about that?
How about it? Do it, young man. Is that behind the back? Yes. He went behind the back. Track, wall, come back.
And the balls just keep flying out of his park.
Long drive. Hit deep into left center field. Gone. And the Rays win it.
Lariano pitch away from pitching a no-hitter. Here's the payoff pitch. And a line drive caught by Tolbert. He's done it. He has done it. Francisco Lariano has pitched a no-hitter.
Hey, shut down practice. That's it. No more.
This Week in Baseball has been sponsored by Pepsi Max, by Chevy, Gillette, Holiday Inn, Scott's, and by State Farm. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and watch us next week at our usual time, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. For This Week in Baseball, I'm Buzz Brainerd. So long, everybody.
America's pastime is on Fox. It's a slugfest in Beantown as Dustin Pedroia and the Red Sox take on the Twins. Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Lowe's. Today, 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific.
Family Guy thinks Peter's the man for the job.
Looking for a good time, sweet cheek?
Oh, my God.
I'm Family Guy.
Weeknights at 6 on Fox 28.
Young men raised on tough streets.
I was actually street boxing.
With few options.
No headgear, just straight gloves, getting it on.
At risk of falling through the cracks.
Street fighting, basically.
But not here, where their dreams begin. This is a place where young Iowans learn discipline, courage, how to take their fights off the streets by bringing them into the ring. CBS 2 anchor Jack Miller shows us how these Cedar Rapids kids are learning to become young men and realize championship dreams. Monday night at 10 only on CBS 2 News.
Fox 28 presents Creating Comedy Gold. Lesson 11, The Father Figure. If you only remember one thing.
How do I stop? Use the rubber stoppers on the front.
Remember, he must be a moron.
Oh, look at that.
But a likable moron.
I love you too, son.
Okay, that's two things. See how Comedy Gold comes together weeknights with The Simpsons at 5, Family Guy at 6, and The Office at 6:30, right here on Fox 28.
You know the saying, don't like the weather in Iowa? Wait 5 minutes and it'll change. Well, meteorologist Aaron Schaefer does like the weather in Iowa. Growing up in Minnesota, his fascination with weather turned into a passion for storm chasing. Now, he's using the CBS2 Road Warrior and his storm chasing expertise to keep you safe. Meteorologist Aaron Schaefer and First Warning Weather. Only on KGAN CBS2 and Fox News at 9.
UEFA Champions League Final, the MLB All-Star Game, the World Series, the Pac-12 Championship, the Big Ten Championship, the NFC Playoffs, and the Daytona 500. The world's biggest events are on Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports! Oh, what a momentous week it was.
He's done it! Francisco Liriano has pitched a no-no.
And he's done it again. 30 straight for Andre Ethier. And all the action continues today with Fox Saturday Baseball. We're in Chi-Town, where the Bigs' home run leader, Alfonso Soriano, takes his hacks against the division rival Reds and MVP Joey Votto. Up in Beantown, the Sox are starting to heat up. Today, the nation hosts Justin Morneau and the Minnesota Twins. And in Baltimore, Buck Showalter's exciting young O's look to take down the Cardiac Kids from Tampa in an AL East showdown. We've got the perfect Mother's Day gift. All the best action on Fox Saturday Baseball, and it starts right now.
Welcome to the Lowe's pregame show on Fox. Lowe's, let's build something together. We are in the epicenter of baseball entertainment, Wrigley Field, where the friendly confines have been rather uncomfortable for the home team. The Cubs are 3 games under 500 here, and that included Friday's opening series loss to reigning NL MVP Joey Votto and the Reds. The Cubs look to get back on track behind their lone all-star from a year ago, Marlon Byrd. It is cloudy and cool, but as Jack Brickhouse would say, hey, we're ready for a little Fox Saturday Baseball. And in just a bit, most of you are going to stay here on the north side of town to see if the Reds can win their 6th straight against the Cubs right here at Wrigley. Some of you we're going to send out to the northeast. Justin Morneau and the Minnesota Twins, they are hot. They're looking for their 4th straight W. They're going to take on the cellar dwellers in the AL East, the Boston Red Sox. And the rest of you are off to Baltimore to see Evan Longoria, just activated off the DL this week, take on Adam Jones and the O's. Tampa, 17-6 since a 1-8 start. Hey, did you see some of the great pitching performances Friday night around the Bigs? The Cardinals lefty Jaime Garcia took a perfect game into the 8th. He had to settle for a 2-hit shutout of the Milwaukee Brewers. And also the Phillies left-hander Cliff Lee struck out 16 Atlanta Braves and still managed to lose. But all eyes in baseball these days are on one Batman out of Los Angeles, Andre Ethier. He extended his hit streak to 30 games last night with a first-inning single off the Mets' Jonathan Neese. Ethier had 3 knocks in the Dodgers' loss and is now 1 game shy of the Dodgers' hitting streak record set by Willie Davis in '69. And in San Francisco, more than 42,000 fans attended Willie Mays' 80th birthday. It included a video tribute and a letter from the president.
Like you guys come out and cheer for me. It's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling. So thank you very much for coming out and enjoy yourself tonight. Thank you. Okay.
And as a nice little gift, the Giants got the Say Hey Kid a walk-off win against Colorado. So Friday night belonged to Willie Mays. Tomorrow, though, it is all about Mom. And let's get to know what role Mom played from turning Little Leaguers into the boys of summer.
With Mother's Day is definitely one of the biggest ones for me because my grandmother, she's the one that got me into baseball. And I wouldn't be sitting here right now talking to you without that. She got me into it to keep me out of the neighborhood, keep me out of trouble. So Mother's Day is always special to me because it's kind of like I'm giving back.
She took me to every practice. She didn't miss a game, a pitch. She put on the gear and catch me, just whatever I needed to do. She was always supportive and really is the reason why I'm sitting here today.
She always supported me 100%. I mean, she said, you keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to be here at home and root for you, so I got you back all the time.
Mom was, a great teacher. She was a phys ed teacher growing up, and she was always into sports. Also, just kind of teaching me how to live and how to be a good kid.
I always remember my mom waiting, every day, whether it was the game, practice, always fed us lunch. And she was that way when I made it to the big leagues.
If it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't be the man that I am right now. And I really give her thanks every day. I talk to my mom. She's like my best friend. I mean, that's my woman. That's my world. And, I make sure I celebrate Mother's Day to the fullest.
And a
happy Mother's Day weekend to all the special ladies out there. And Mom, if you love baseball, you're in luck. Do not touch the remote control because we have one of 3 great games coming your way. Most of you will see the Reds stay here on the north side of Chicago to take on the Cubs. Others get those red-hot Minnesota Twins taking on Adrian Gonzalez, Carl Crawford, and the Red Sox. The rest of you are off to Baltimore to see the Rays and the O's do battle. First pitch of your game is next, presented by Lowe's.
You're watching Major League Baseball on Fox.
Hi, Gary Dolphin here for Spahn & Rose Lumber Company. You know, for over a century, home builders have chosen Spahn & Rose when it comes to their building needs.
And builders choose Guardian fiberglass insulation for energy efficiency and protection against the elements. Let the Spahn & Rose team help you find the Guardian fiberglass insulation that is the perfect choice for a quiet and comfortable home.
Put the Spahn & Rose team to work for you. Spahn & Rose Lumber Company, the builder's choice for quality.
You've seen our patio on the news countless times, but it was so blah. So all of us here at CBS 2 and Fox 28 decided we needed a patio paradise. And wow, what a paradise it's gonna be. We contacted 3 great local businesses to help us design a plan. Crow Concrete Products, providing us with all of our landscaping materials, a grand fireplace, pillars and pavers, Outdoor Creations landscape design. They make the indoors envious. And Fleming Nursery will provide beautiful plans to finish off the design. Stay tuned.
It is a cloudy, chilly Saturday in Chicago. We welcome you to Wrigley Field for a matchup of National League Central Division rivals, the Cincinnati Reds in town to take on the Chicago Cubs. And hi again, everybody. Happy Mother's Day weekend. I'm Thom Brennaman. Welcome, as always, to Baseball on Fox. Last year, the Reds were Central Division champions for the first time in 15 years. The Cubs, meanwhile, last won it in 2007. They'd like to get back there again here in 2011. Pleasure, as always, to be joined by Tim McCarver. And 2 games over 500 are the Reds to begin this year, but they feel pretty fortunate to be where they are.
Well, the Reds won 91 games last year with all the elements. Speed, they can catch the ball, they can hit for power, and they had underrated starting pitching. They did, however, miss 2 big guys this year. Homer Bailey, they got back on Thursday. They get Johnny Cueto back tomorrow. Dusty Baker's very, very happy to have everybody at full strength.
As for the Cubs, we visited with Mike Quaddy earlier today. He very much likes his team.
Well, one of the strengths of the Cubs is their hitting. And if first base were home plate, they'd score a lot more runs, and they may not have lost a game so far. They cannot hit so far with runners in scoring position. If they could straighten that out, they'll be a better ball club.
Well, we'll see how it goes here today. Reds won the opener yesterday, and all the moms out there, tomorrow a big day, our early hugs and kisses right out of the gate. Is spring finally here? We know about the Run for the Roses today. Later tonight, it's NASCAR on Fox. But first things first, the Reds and the Cubs convene in Chicago. You're watching Baseball on Fox.
With DirecTV, you can start watching in one room, pause, and continue watching in any other room. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
Burger King created an enticing alliance of brainiacs and carnivores to formulate the BK Stacker, a crave-crushing quotient of beef, bacon, budget, and cheese for a head-slappingly simple 1, 2, 3. The BK Stacker, only at Burger King.
Klondike presents 5 Seconds to Glory. 2 biker dudes versus a moment of intimacy.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
The 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 engine in the Jeep Grand Cherokee has a best-in-class driving range of more than 500 miles per tank, which means you don't have to worry about finding a gas station, which is good, because there just might not be one.
Give yourself an edge. One A Day Men's Pro Edge. A complete multivitamin with more magnesium to help support healthy muscle function. More B vitamins to help convert food to fuel. More confidence in a healthy you. One A Day Men's Pro Edge.
Just because I'm a car guy doesn't mean I don't care about the environment.
I also care about doing things right.
And what I'm leaving behind for the next car guy.
Introducing Valvoline Next Gen. Backed by the Valvoline Engine Guarantee Program, it's 50% recycled oil, 100% Valvoline protection.
So you're telling me you watch every single game all season long right here on the couch? What if you get hungry?
Here.
Help yourself to a leg or something.
Yeah.
MLBFanCave.com. Follow it on Twitter. Like it on Facebook. Interact all season long.
It's a chilly Saturday in Chicago. Temperatures have probably dropped about 10 degrees in the last hours. The winds have shifted, and although they don't figure to be a factor in the game today, as you know, in Chicago, that could change any time. Our opening pitch brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. Last year's National League Central Division champion Cincinnati Reds in town to take on Casey Coleman and the Cubs. Red starting lineup under Dusty Baker, brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Drew Stubbs in center, Edgar Renteria at short. The reigning MVP Joey Votto at first. Brandon Phillips in a cleanup spot. Jay Bruce in right. Chris Heisey in left. The latter third of Brian Hannigan. Chris Valleca for the injured Scott Rowland at third. And Bronson Arroyo is on the mound. Casey Coleman making his 5th start of the year.
Casey Coleman, the son of former Major Leaguer Joe Coleman. In fact, his grandfather pitched in the major leagues. He is the only third-generation pitcher in the majors. A poor man's Greg Maddux, and that is a real compliment. He's not a hard thrower, has to move the ball around, and that's his quote from his last outing. The walks are killing me. He has 13 walks and 12 strikeouts, and that's always a bad sign when the walks are more than the Ks.
Let's take a look at the defense for the Chicago Cubs, brought to you by Scott's. Tyler Colvin is starting left, Marlon Byrd in center, Kosuke Fukudome in right. No Starlin Castro today. Darwin Barney moves from second to short. Blake DeWitt is in the lineup. And Giovanni Soto hanging the signs for Casey Coleman. Drew Stubbs to lead off for the Reds. A .254 batter, 5 home runs and 16 runs batted in. A lot of people around the league, including his own manager, Dusty Baker, telling us before the game, the sky is the limit for Drew Stubbs, former #1 pick out of the University of Texas.
I've never really heard that hyphenated name. Dusty's saying that Stubbs could be a mega player. And in my view, he can be. A lot of other views also.
First pitch, ball 1 to Stubbs, so we're underway, and now it goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Stubbs, going back to the beginning of last year, is the only player in Major League Baseball to hit 25 or more home runs while stealing 40 or more bases. He is the entire package. One of the fastest players in the major leagues, one of the most gifted athletic players in the major leagues. And he has drawn a walk. You just said it, Tim McCarver. To quote Casey Coleman, walks are killing me.
Walks are killing me. Part of our scouting report, and he comes out and throws 4 straight balls, not only to the leadoff hitter, but to a guy who can run. And there they are right there. Walks are killing me. 4 straight balls to Stubbs.
Stubbs with 10 stolen bases already this year, has only been thrown out 1 time, and now it's Edgar Renteria, the most valuable player in last year's World Series for the San Francisco Giants.
That's 13 years after scoring the winning run, or driving in the winning run for the Florida Marlins back in 1997 to win their first World Series.
Renteria has played well so far for the Reds, and he figures to get more playing time due to all the injuries they've had, especially in the infield. The regular third baseman, Scott Rowland, probably will not come off the disabled list with an injured shoulder until next weekend. His backup, Juan Francisco, on the DL. And then yesterday, Paul Janisch, the Reds' regular shortstop filling in at third, injured his ankle. And he's not in the lineup today.
Casey Coleman, as he proved, has a very quick move to first base. It cost him a balk his last outing against Arizona.
Stubbs running, swung on and missed, and a throw to second base is not in time. So give Stubbs his 11th steal in 12 tries, and he's in scoring position with none out.
That was a hit and run. Renteria swings through it. And Soto's throw is low, one hopping second baseman Blake DeWitt. You could see a late jump from first base. Normally Stubbs a very, very good base runner and a good base stealer. Those two are not always combined, however.
Well, now runner at second, nobody out here in the Cincinnati first inning, and Renteria looks at a called third strike right down the can. That's a big out for Coleman.
Soto sets up inside, and Coleman hits the mitt.
So now the reigning National League's most valuable player from 2010, Canadian-born Joey Votto. And what a start again this year for Votto. .351 batter, 5 home runs and 18 runs batted in. Look at that on-base percentage. Nearly 48% of his plate appearances, he is reaching first base.
Yeah, that includes 35 straight games that he has reached base.
On the inside corner, that's strike two. See the 32 games, every one of them Votto has played this year, he's reached base safely. Last year, he had a 41-game streak. Interesting to note, the streak came to an end right here on the 4th of July in Chicago when Votto was ejected in the first inning for arguing balls and strikes. He's out of there swinging, and there are 2 gone in the Cincinnati first.
How about that sequence? Breaking ball for a strike, inside corner for a strike, and now he goes away with the sinker. We talked about a poor man's Greg Maddux. That's how Greg Maddux, who is now an assistant to general manager Jim Hendry here in Chicago, that's how he used to work hitters. In and out, little breaking ball, take a little off.
That'll bring up the second baseman batting in the cleanup spot due to the injury to Scott Rowland. It's Brandon Phillips. Off to a very good start as well this year as Phillips. .324 batter, 4 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Go all the way back to when the Reds acquired Phillips in 2006 from the Cleveland Indians. He has been one of the most durable and productive second basemen in all of baseball. Plays every day, has the 3rd most home runs among all second basemen the last 5 years, 4th most RBIs, the 2nd most hits, second only to Robinson Cano. And his defense, he takes a backseat to no one. Into short right field, and a nice job by Coleman. With a runner at second and nobody out, retires the next 3. The Cubbies are coming up.
To increase fuel efficiency, its profile is sculpted for optimal aerodynamics. It reduces wind resistance in an irresistible sort of way. The all-new Ford Focus with up to 40 miles per gallon highway.
Dad? It's time. You'd be a really nice catch for somebody. Please?
Just for Men takes 5 easy minutes, targets only the gray hair, and can start something great.
Yes!
Just for Men.
You put a lot of effort into creating the perfect evening. So we put a lot of effort into creating the perfect tortilla chip. Introducing new Tostitos Artisan Recipes. Made with real ingredients cooked right in for flavor you can see and taste in every bite. Because when we put in the very best, what you end up with only gets better. Experience new Tostitos Artisan Recipes.
Rough, dry skin taking over? There's an easy way to fix that. New Lubriderm Men's 3-in-1. The first and only body, face, post-shave lotion in one bottle.
Do something different?
New Lubriderm Men's 3-in-1.
It might be hard to believe that the new Focus can virtually park itself. Till you actually see it park itself. The all-new Ford Focus with class-exclusive Active Park Assist.
Bronson Arroyo on the mound for the Reds, and the Cubs starting lineup is presented by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. A lot of changes today due to the lack of success against Arroyo for many of these Cubs. Fukudome in right, Darwin Barney over at short, Marlon Byrd in center. Aramis Ramirez a cleanup hitter with Carlos Pena at first and Giovanni Soto catching. A ladder third of Blake DeWitt, Tyler Coleman out left, and Coleman on the mound.
Chicago Cubs hopeful that the ineffectiveness of Bronson Arroyo in the first inning continues. He has an earned run average of 6 in the first inning. In fact, the Red starters have a 10.39 earned run average in the first inning. But Arroyo, a pitcher with a capital P, the count doesn't dictate the pitch. He'll throw any pitch in any count, and a surprising career record with 106 wins and one of the winningest pitchers over the last 5 years.
Strike one to Kosuke Fukudome. Off to a good start at 338. Of course, that's been his MO since coming from Japan to Major League Baseball. Fast starts and then fading quickly as the seasons go on. 0-2 to Fukudome.
His start was so fast in 2008, he was named to the All-Star team as a starter at Yankee Stadium.
And at the end of that very same year, he was not on the Cubs postseason roster.
Isn't that something? As a starter in the All-Star game at Yankee Stadium and not on the Cubs postseason roster. Remarkable.
1-2 to Fukudome is popped up and out of play. You know, you talk about Arroyo. And a pitcher with a capital P. He's led the Reds in starts in each of the last 5 years. Many might be surprised to know he is one of only 5 pitchers in the major leagues. When you think about all the big name guys out there. One of 5 pitchers in the major leagues that has won at least 15 games in each of the last 3 years. And you're talking about company like Roy Halladay, C.C. Sabathia, Tim Lincecum, and John Lester. Diving Brandon Phillips, and that's a base hit for Fukudome to open the Chicago opening inning.
That pitch on the outside corner, Brandon Phillips can't get to it, and if he can't get to it, nobody can get to it. Gold Glover last year. Ball up in the strike zone over the plate, and a diving Phillips couldn't get to it. What about those 2 plays he made yesterday? Unbelievable. Only guy who could make the plays he made yesterday, Derrick Rose of the Bulls. Who had 44 last night, by the way. Bulls are up 2-1 in their best 4 of 7 against the Hawks.
Of course, Rose, the league's most valuable player this year.
Right. What a
runner
player.
goes, and a bouncing ball to short. Renteria, they'll try there, safe, throw to first, and they get Barney.
We had a meeting with Mike Quaddy today. He said, you asked him about the hit and run. He said, well, we're not a running team, but the one guy I'll hit and run with is Darwin Barney. Here it is, first pitch, hits and runs, double play. Darwin slipping coming out of the box, and that's probably what cost him. Fukudome going into Brandon Phillips, but Phillips using second base to protect himself and gets Barney at first.
Well, the Cubs with a runner at second base.
You know, I said a double play. I assumed he was out at second, and Fukudome was safe at second base. So I was dead wrong.
Well, then you're finally wrong, because you were never wrong at our dinner last night when we covered all topics around the globe.
Nobody is ever wrong at dinner. The night before the game. Never.
Marlon Byrd, the lone Chicago Cub all-star a season ago. Hard hit ball, but right at Renteria. The Reds defensively had 3 Gold Glove winners a year ago. Could have easily had 4 or 5. A dynamic outfield when Heisey's in a lineup in left. Valleca for Roland, who won a Gold Glove. Brandon Phillips won a Gold Glove. Bronson Arroyo won a Gold Glove. The defense brought to you by Scott's. Talked about from the very beginning the problems the Cubs have had with runners in scoring position. And there was talk after the game yesterday about how long Aramis Ramirez would continue to bat in that cleanup spot. And Mike Quaddy said he's our best RBI guy. He's going to be there.
Yeah, who are you going to put there? That was Quaddy's point, and it's a valid point. I mean, Aramis Ramirez is paid to drive in runs, not to get on base.
Renteria deep in the hole, and the throw is on the money. So both teams in the first leave a runner in scoring position. No score at the end of 1.
Whoa! I got a winner! I got a winner!
Wow, he's excited. He thinks he got a winning taco. A winning taco? It's the new cheesy double-decker taco. It's like getting 2 tacos for 89 cents. Or, in his case, buying one and winning a second.
Another winner!
At 89 cents, everyone's a winner. The new cheesy double-decker taco. A crunchy taco and nacho cheese sauce all wrapped up. So it's like getting twice the taco. Only at Taco Bell.
Yes! Yes!
Why pay more?
Bauer, you got dandruff? Actually, Head & Shoulders is for more than dandruff. Gives me a healthy scalp and great-looking hair.
Does it do anything else for you?
No. No? Yes.
Head & Shoulders, 7 benefits, 1 bottle.
The throw home. Safe! And the Red Sox win it. Back, back, back. That ball is gone.
Can you imagine the game played on anything less than the most beautiful grass you've ever seen?
And that's your ball game.
Neither can we. Scott's, official lawn care company of Major League Baseball.
This is the Kyocera Echo from Sprint, the first dual touchscreen smartphone. 2's better than 1. Ask Double Dream Hands Man, who just released his latest tour de force, Double Dream Feet. With 2 screens, watch it and email it. Text it and tweet it. Let's make this masterpiece just as famous, twice as fast. And together, we can give one-hit wonders a second life. The Echo Smartphone, only from Sprint.
Today's game from Wrigley Field, presented by Lowe's, is sponsored by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. By Scott's, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball, and by Sprint. All together now. Jay Bruce to lead things off against Casey Coleman in the Cincinnati second inning. Bruce just turned 24 years young the first week of the season. The Reds gave him a 6-year contract during the off year. Former #1 pick and a native Texan. Clubbed a 3-run home run here yesterday. That was a 5th home run for Bruce in the last 14 plate appearances. So after a very slow start, Bruce beginning to tune it up. Has 7 home runs overall on the year and has driven in 18.
That was a pitch yesterday that Matt Garza, the starter, wishes he had back. A high breaking ball hammered to the middle of the bleachers.
Rather odd, we only had that lone home run in the game here yesterday. There's strike 3 called to Bruce, and that's 3 strikeouts through the first 5 Reds batters for Coleman. All right, Timmy, let's take a look at our 4 keys to the game.
All right, for the Reds, they got through the first without allowing a run. We talked about the earned run average of the Reds starters. And for the Cubs, vital for them to hit with men on base. They had the leadoff runner on and Fukudome in the first inning, and he failed to score.
Chris Heisey getting the start out in left field here today. Heisey, the Reds minor league player of the year 2 years ago. Spent most of last year with a major league club, set a franchise record with 4 pinch hit home runs, tied a club record. And getting playing time here today due to the recent struggles from Johnny Gomes, who was such a big part of the Reds' success last year when Gomes knocked in nearly 90 runs. DeWitt. His throw is in time, 2 away. Umpiring crew for this Saturday afternoon. Jerry Lane, the crew chief behind the plate. Bob Davidson at first, Hunter Wendelstedt at second, and Vic Carapazza down at third. That'll bring up Ryan Hannigan. For the second straight year, Hannigan and Ramon Hernandez sharing the catching duties for the Reds. What a duo they turned out to be last year. From the catcher's position, only the Atlanta Braves, and of course you're primarily talking about all-star Brian McCann, knocked in more runs from that position than the Reds catchers did a season ago.
They're quite a tandem, and the one impressive thing about Hannigan is he was not drafted.
Base hit.
Very unusual to see a non-drafted player make it to the major leagues, particularly when that non-drafted player is a catcher, because catchers usually start young.
First hit for the Reds against Coleman. It comes with 2 outs here in the second inning from Hannigan, and that'll bring up Chris Valaika. Valaika brought up from the minor leagues after Scott Rowland was injured, and we mentioned his primary backup, one of the very many heralded young Reds prospects in Juan Francisco. He went down with a calf injury. So Valaika, who started his career as a shortstop, moved to second base a year ago, is in the Reds lineup at third base today. This ought to do it in the second inning, and will. A hit a man left. Still no score from Chicago.
Hello. Hey, man. It's me. I'm coming home.
When?
I've spent too long away from home. Did all the things I could have done. Gone on the days of endless. I know I'm not the only one. So long, I'm
Because I had a good teacher, I learned about more than cars.
I like responsibility.
Doing things right.
Dad.
Introducing Valvoline Next Gen. Backed by the Valvoline Engine Guarantee Program, it's 50% recycled oil, 100% Valvoline protection.
Klondike presents 5 Seconds to Glory. Mark versus listening to his wife.
I was over at Jim and Nancy's today. Do you remember them? We had dinner with them a couple weeks ago over at Jill's house.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Whoa, I should get Mama Samsung Fascinate. Bright, colorful screen, high-speed downloads, HD video. She'll want videos of grandkids. I'm not ready for kids. What would I name it? Brian's good. Brian will make eye contact, work with his hands, return emails. Okay, Mom's getting the phone.
Get Mom a new Samsung Fascinate for $99.99 and unlimited data for only $29.99 on America's largest high-speed wireless network. Verizon.
Today's game, presented by Lowe's, is sponsored by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Along the lakefront of Lake Michigan, one of the great cities in America, Chicago.
No doubt about it. If you're familiar with that book, The Devil in the White City, the story about the 1893 exposition here, where, among other things, the Ferris wheel made its first appearance, as did the toothbrush. I don't know how they're connected. They're not. But it was the first time they made their intro. Yes, sir.
Carlos Pena, in his first season wearing a Cub uniform, came over during the off year as a free agent from the Tampa Bay Rays. Did not homer in the first 25 games the Cubs played this year, and then hit home runs in back-to-back games. Both games won by the Cubs at Dodger Stadium before they came back home yesterday.
Yeah, no excuses for Pena, but he did sprain his thumb in early April, and that's that right thumb, the one that he rolls over on, and it makes it very, very difficult to come through the ball.
Slow roller down to Joey Votto, and he'll take it himself. One out. Time now for a DirecTV game break. Let's send it downstairs to Chris Rose.
All right, Tommy. Well, Pena's former teammate down in Tampa, Evan Longoria, off and running early. Activated off the DL this week after missing 26 games with a strained oblique. A run-scoring double. The Rays are up on the O's 1-zip. Remember to see all the baseball games the most in HD. It's 1-800-DirecTV. And guys, how about Joe Madden for early manager of the year? They've won 17 of their last 23 after that 1-8 start.
Get no argument here.
Timmy, whenever you and I are together, we both always harken back to a playoff game in the division series many years ago when the Angels and the Yankees were rained out of a game. As it strike one to Giovanni Soto. You and I went downstairs and hung out in Mike Scioscia's office, and those were the days when Joe Madden was his bench coach. And you walked out of that meeting and you said, that's a guy who should be managing in the major leagues. He's done all right for himself.
He has really done all right for himself. After that 1-8 start, they lost their first 6 games of the season. But after going 1-8, they're 17-6 and a game behind the Yankees in the American League East. Smart guy.
And a good guy.
And a great guy. A real Renaissance man in every way.
Grew up in Pennsylvania.
Hazleton. Same hometown as Jack Palance.
Is that right?
Yeah,
wow.
That's a fact.
They don't remind me of one another.
In my first year of broadcasting, the worst interview I ever did was with Jack Palance. I asked him what he was doing in Philadelphia, and he said, "What do you mean, what am I doing here? I live in the area." Terrible interview.
3-2 the count on Giovanni Soto. And it's off the outside corner, and Arroyo has issued his first walk of the game.
In fact, Jack Palance, an interview with him would be much like an interview with Charles Bronson, after whom Bronson Arroyo was named.
Did you just do that 6 degrees of separation sort of thing, you know, where
kind of
it goes from one to the next to the next?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Here's Blake DeWitt. DeWitt came over in the Ted Lilly deal from the Dodgers last year and came over thinking he would be the Cubs' second baseman for a number of years to come. Well, he went into a spring training battle with Darwin Barney, and Barney won the battle. Barney today moving over to play short. A rare off day for the Cubs' young dynamic shortstop Starlin Castro.
What a luxury for the Cubs and Mike Quade to have a second baseman who can move to shortstop and spell his teammate. But that's Starlin Castro. What a player. 40 hits in the month of April, and still only 21 years old. 40 hits.
In the air, left center field. The wind will push it back towards the infield, and Stubbs is there for the second out of the inning. You know, you talk about Castro. It was 1 year ago today where Starlin made his major league debut. Coincidentally, it was against the Reds. The game was in Cincinnati. Castro hit a home run, his first at bat in the major leagues. He drove in a major league record 6 runs in the game.
My gosh.
Major league record for a player making his major league debut.
Yeah, and the only hitter in the history of the game to have a home run and a triple in his first game.
That was one of the rare wins for the Cubs against Cincinnati last year. The Reds beat them 12 out of 16 times. Strike one to Tyler Colvin. Quickly 0-2 to Colvin. You know, you talk about those 40 hits in the month of April by Castro for a player 21 years old or younger, going all the way back to the end of World War II. Only Alex Rodriguez has done that back in 1997 with Seattle. And the start of this season earned him a cover shot on Sports Illustrated last week. Fly ball lifted to left. That's where Heisey stands, and the inning is over. 1 man left. Still no score. We're back after a word from your local Fox station.
You're watching Major League Baseball on Fox.
You've seen our patio on the news countless times, but it was so blah. So all of us here at CBS2 and Fox 28 decided we needed a patio paradise. And wow, what a paradise it's gonna be. We contacted 3 great local businesses to help us design a plan. Kroll Concrete Products, providing us with all of our landscaping materials, a grand fireplace, pillars, and pavers. Outdoor Creations Landscape Design. They make the indoors envious. And Fleming Nursery will provide beautiful plans to finish off the design. Stay tuned.
Chevy makes the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size truck on the road, and your elite Chevy dealers make it the best value in Iowa. Silverado is rated the best full-size truck for the money. Silverado has the best V8 fuel efficiency and the best coverage in America. Right now, you can get into a new Silverado for just $20,390. That's up to $6,000 off MSRP. No wonder it's the best-selling full-size truck in Iowa. Best quality, best price, best value. See your elite Chevy dealers today.
Hi, Gary Dolphin here for Spahn & Rose Lumber Company. For me, there's just one winning move when it comes to building, and that's turning to the experts at Spahn & Rose.
Products like CertainTeed shingles with proven resilience and endurance. CertainTeed shingles have established a solid reputation for quality, reliability, and innovation for over 100 years. CertainTeed shingles, the choice of builders.
With many convenient locations, Spahn & Rose gives you the home field advantage.
You've seen our patio on the news countless times, but it was so blah. So all of us here at CBS2 and Fox 28 decided we needed a patio paradise. And wow, what a paradise it's gonna be. We contacted 3 great local businesses to help us design a plan. Kroll Concrete Products, providing us with all of our landscaping materials, a grand fireplace, pillars, and pavers. Outdoor Creations Landscape Design. They make the indoors envious. And Fleming Nursery will provide beautiful plans to finish off the design. Stay tuned.
Mace Michaels and First Warning Weather, weeknights on Fox News at 9.
Fox Saturday Baseball from Chicago is presented by Lowe's. No score at the end of 2. Each team with a hit. Each team has left a runner in scoring position. Bronson Arroyo to start things against Casey Coleman. He looks at a ball. Talked about Arroyo's accomplishments on the mound. All the wins. Picked up the Gold Glove last year. You know, he's one of those guys, Timmy, that all of us love watching the fireballers. You know, the Randy Johnsons or the CC Sabathias and the Lincecums. This is one of the few guys that I would pay money to go watch pitch in a Major League Baseball game, Arroyo.
Yeah, that's why we said a pitcher with a capital P. He is all of that. Traded from the Red Sox for Willie Mo Pena. And I thought at the time, boy, Cincinnati really made a mistake by trading a guy like Willie Mo Pena, who had a world of talent, a major league body. He could run, hit, throw, everything. And they got Arroyo, and I thought, boy, the Red Sox got the best of this deal, but not so. The Reds found themselves with a terrific, successful major league pitcher.
Well, really two of the best trades made by any team, arguably over the last 20 years in the game, were both made by the former Reds general manager, Wayne Krivsky. He brought in Arroyo from Boston, the deal you talked about, and he got Brandon Phillips from the Cleveland Indians for right-hander Jeff Stevens.
Yeah, and a little cash.
In both deals.
I'm telling you. Of course, when you talk about the Chicago Cubs, they don't want to hear about deals. One of the worst deals in the history of the game. Lou Brock for Ernie Broglio back in 1964.
Fouled away, still 2-2 on Arroyo. I always felt bad all the years I worked here. I'd never met Ernie Broglio, but I always felt terrible for the guy.
Oh yeah, and Ernie, one of the great guys. A guy who won 21 games back in 1960, but was no longer the pitcher he was earlier when the Cardinals traded for Brock.
Well, it's been an 8-pitch at bat so far for Arroyo, leading off the Cincinnati third against Casey Coleman. Of course, Coleman is trying to stay a part of the Chicago Cubs starting rotation. Like the Reds, they've been missing a pair of the guys they thought would be in their rotation, and a 9-pitch at bat is capped off by a single into center. We'd like to invite you to help make a baseball moment kids will never forget. Please go to ChevyBaseball.com to support youth baseball. Plus enter to win one of the 4 trips to the 2011 Major League Baseball All-Star Game in Phoenix, Arizona, and the keys to a new Chevrolet. Of course, we'll have that All-Star Game right here on Fox. That ball in the air, right center will hang up long enough for Fukudome to run it down. 1 out. And you'll be there, Tim McCarver, with Joe Buck.
Yep. Yes, sir. You know, Tommy, we talked about the Brock for Broglio deal with the Cubs, haunting an organization for a long, long time. And the same thing happened to the Reds 2 years later when they traded Frank Robinson to the Baltimore Orioles for Milt Pappas. The reason I bring up Milt's name, I ran into Milt. He was conducting an interview in front of some folks here at Wrigley Field yesterday before the game. Looks great and is in good health, and that's nice.
Very nice. One and 0 on Edgar Renteria, who struck out looking his first time up. 1 ball and 1 strike on Renteria. Votto hoping for a chance with a couple on base here in the Cincinnati third. Arroyo's at first with 1 out. 2-1.
Edgar Renteria, one of the game's truly nice people. To really love to see a guy like that, an MVP in a World Series, from Barranquilla in Colombia. One of 9 players from Colombia to play in the major leagues. Had a big parade for him planned last year, and it rained on his parade, and they had a smaller one, and he said that was fine. Also, another good major league shortstop, Orlando Cabrera, from that same town.
Base hit into center field. Pretty ironic that Renteria signs in the offseason as a free agent with the Reds. Orlando Cabrera was the Cincinnati shortstop last year. All-time game-winning RBIs in a pair of World Series to win games.
How about that?
Edgar Renteria joining that lineup right there, including your old buddy Yogi. I don't know, maybe Gehrig was your buddy too. You've been around a while.
I did not know the Iron Horse.
Here's Joey Votto, and he looks at ball one. You know, I'm just ribbing you on that.
Oh,
although
listen,
you did know
fine,
Joe
man.
DiMaggio.
I did.
And you know Yogi very well.
Yeah, I do. That old expression, it is what it is, that applies to age.
You're right. 1-1 to Votto, and it bounces up there. Nice play to smother it by Soto. With 2 balls and a strike to Votto. A 3-horse race it was for the National League's Most Valuable Player Award last year. Votto, Albert Pujols, and Carlos Gonzalez in Colorado. They were virtually 1, 2, and 3 all the major offensive statistical categories. And look at those numbers for Votto with runners on base. Well over 400 again. 2-2 pitch. Fouled away.
You know, we talked about that sequence his first time up. We'll go back and look at that. 3 pitches to strike out Votto. Make it 4 pitches on the 1-1 inside corner. And he strikes out on a pitch low and away. So good work by Coleman.
All right, a guy who puts the ball in play a lot like Votto, 3-2, even though it's a pitcher out at second base, you're going to start your runners here.
I would.
3-2. Struck him out. Good thing they weren't. We mentioned that is Arroyo out there running at second base. So Votto has gone down on strikes twice against Coleman today.
Well, you know, Tommy, you say good thing they weren't, but if they were running, a guy like Votto, knowing they're running, could have had a different approach to that swing. With them staying put, you're more inclined to go for the downs, particularly in a ballpark like this. But if they're running, then you shorten your swing, you shorten your thinking on it, you try to make contact. So it could have been different, but as it stands, I would have been, again, for the second time in this game, dead wrong.
No, I just asked you if you would start the run.
Oh, I would have, yeah. You know, we're seeing less of that, though. We're seeing less first and second and managers sending runners. I don't totally agree with that either.
2-0 to Brandon Phillips. And we certainly lost it even more at the end of last year because I'm not sure there was a manager in the game today with runners at first and second base who ran more than Bobby Cox did on a 3-2.
Yeah, that's right. Joe Torre used to do it in his early years with the Yankees because of Don Zimmer.
2-1 on Brandon Phillips. Phillips popped up to short right field his first time up. What a show he put on here yesterday with a glove. 2 times Phillips has won the Gold Glove Award. And this has really become almost an everyday occurrence. Great plays by Phillips.
Behind the back.
That to me might have been the play that you said, how does a guy do what he just did? If you notice in that last replay, it happened very fast. The ball was going straight at the second base umpire, Bob Davidson, right for his head. And he had to drop down to his knees to get out of the way. And Phillips somehow, some way still caught the ball.
Usually a ball hit like that will block the view of the guy trying to catch the ball, and that's what you're referring to, and it's an excellent point.
Phillips hit with a pitch on a 3-1 count, so they're loaded for Jay Bruce.
Brandon Phillips hit in the right above the left elbow. No way is a young Coleman hitting a right-handed batter with 2 out and 2 on to get to a left-handed power hitter in Bruce.
Brandon Phillips wearing a microphone for us today. Let's listen in. Right, they're loaded for Jay Bruce, and he's quickly down, strike one. Oh, and 1 to Bruce, bases loaded in a scoreless game here in the Reds' third inning. Arroyo started the inning with a hit. A 1-out single by Renteria. Phillips hit by a pitch with 2 out. And it's 1-1 to Jay Bruce. Just off the inside corner. 30 pitches in this inning now for Casey Coleman. Oh, he needed 26 to get through the first 2 innings. It's 2-1 count, a very important count for Coleman. Fall behind 3-1, you're in a boatload of trouble. And instead he gets Bruce to put it on the ground, and the Reds will leave him loaded. After 2.5, we're still scoreless. The Reds and the Cubs from Chicago.
Edmunds.com says that Lexus holds its value better than any other luxury brand. IntelliChoice proclaims that Lexus has the best overall value of any brand. And J.D. Power and Associates ranks Lexus the highest in customer satisfaction. No wonder more people have chosen Lexus over any other luxury brand 11 years in a row. See your Lexus dealer.
Burger King created an enticing alliance of brainiacs and carnivores to formulate the BK Stacker, a crave-crushing quotient of beef, bacon, budget, and cheese for a head-slappingly simple 1, 2, 3. The BK Stacker, only at Burger King.
Succeeding in today's market requires more than wishful thinking. It requires determination and decisive action. I go to E-Trade and get unbiased analyst ratings and 24/7 help from award-winning customer support. To take control of my finances and my life, I tap into the power of revolutionary mobile apps to trade wherever, whenever. Life isn't fully experienced sitting idly by. Neither is investing.
Just because I'm a car guy doesn't mean I don't care about the environment.
I also care about doing things right and what I'm leaving behind for the next car guy.
Introducing Valvoline Next Gen. Backed by the Valvoline Engine Guarantee Program, it's 50% recycled oil, 100% Valvoline protection.
Klondike presents 5 Seconds to Glory. 2 biker dudes versus a moment of intimacy.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Need a gift idea for Mom? Fox Mother's Day Sunday's got you covered. Fabulous! Our gifts are fragrant.
How's the smell over there, Franny?
And fashionable, too. Do me. I meant my hair.
Nice comeback.
So surprise her with all new laughs.
Gonna slip into something more comfortable?
My lazy pants, yes.
On one priceless night.
$100? How much is that in smackaroos?
100. Woohoo! It all starts at 7/6 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Cubs come to bat against Bronson Arroyo in the bottom of the third inning. Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series. The Reds won the opener yesterday. The first meeting between these two teams here in 2011. A 5-4 final. Saw Arroyo get a hit to begin the third inning. Coleman is a very good athlete.
He loves to hit. Loves to hit.
He only has 5 at-bats this year, but he has a couple of hits, one of them a double. He's put down a pair of sacrifices. They have used him as a pinch runner in games this year. Soft liner at Renteria for the first out.
Told you he loved to hit. Goes up, takes 2 strikes, and gets jammed. he was a shortstop and pitcher at Gulf Coast University at Fort Myers, Florida, and just loves to swing the bat. We were going to meet with him yesterday, and he said, you got to meet before batting practice because I've got to hit.
Fukudome has the only Chicago hit through the front 9 against Bronson Arroyo. He led off the game with a single in the center field, wound up being stranded at second base. Reds have already left 5 on in the first 3 innings. Chicago 2. Breaking ball in off the plate. 2-1 on Fukudome. In the final year of his 4-year contract is Fukudome. He signed before that 2008 season. Of course, because of all the money tied up in the Chicago outfield, in their regular outfield of Alfonso Soriano, Marlon Byrd, and Fukudome, it has really stunted the growth of their highly touted prospect, though, in the lineup today, Tyler Colvin.
Young man with 20 home runs as a rookie last year.
Well, it's baseball today on Fox. Tonight, NASCAR on Fox.
Lurks around the next turn.
Under the lights Saturday night, a super speedway that races much like a short track.
Darlington is an animal all of its own.
You had to be tough to win here. You had to man up.
But I promise you, this will not be a nice lady.
Hot night in South Carolina.
Will justice prevail on the racetrack? Keep watching NASCAR on Fox.
That'll be tonight at 7 o'clock. Denny Hamlin trying to defend his title from a year ago and take home his first checkered flag of this year. Strike 1 to Darwin Barney. Barney grew up in the great Northwest and played collegiately at Oregon State. Nice play by Baleka. They get one and won't turn it on the speedy Barney. Of course, that was a collegiate program. It's always been very good, but boy, they were really good when Barney was there. They won back-to-back College World Series.
It's one of the great baseball names, Darwin Barney. As a matter of fact, what's in a name? The Cubs feature the first Starlin in the history of baseball and only the second Darwin in the history of baseball. The other Darwin, a gentleman by the name of Darwin Kubian. So the first Starling and the second Darwin. It's wonderful. Something rhythmic. It's like it's supposed to happen. You know?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. There you go. First player in Major League Baseball history named Starlin, and only the second player in Major League Baseball history named Darwin. You got to love it. Plain and simple.
See, for all the kids out there watching, though, they like the Barney part.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You know, Darwin tells a story when he was coming up through the minor leagues that all the ballparks he used to go in, they play that Barney song when he'd come up the bat.
That's great.
Yeah.
Really.
0-1 to Marlon Byrd. Cubs come into play 3 games under 500, 14 up and 17 down. The front-running Cardinals in the Central got a win over slumping Milwaukee last night. There's a rocket knocked down by Arroyo without his glove, and the throw is not in time.
How many times do you see that? I can count on one hand the times that I've seen a batter knock a pitcher's glove off and see the pitcher field it. I mean, that's how hard that ball was hit. It knocked the glove off his hand, and without the glove, Arroyo tried to make the play. Full speed. Wow. Scored a hit and should have been.
So here are the Cubs yet again with runners in scoring position. Overall on the year as a team, they're batting .215. And that ranks among the bottom 4 clubs in Major League Baseball. Even worse over their last 11 games. .145 they're batting with runners in scoring position. And boy, they had a pile of chances here yesterday in that 1-run loss. Two out of 14 yesterday. They had a total of 14 runners that were on base yesterday, and only 2 of the 4 scored on hits. The other 2 scored on a pass ball and a double play. Twice with the bases loaded and nobody out. Did not score a run. And that 2 for 14 number includes their at-bats with runners in scoring position today. And this should end the inning. Stubbs will call off Phillips. And the Cubs strand 2 more. They've left 4 on base through the first 3.
And the misery continues.
America is facing some tough challenges right now. 2 of the most important are energy security and economic growth. North America actually has one of the largest oil reserves in the world. A large part of that is oil sands. This resource has the ability to create hundreds of thousands of jobs. At our Curl project in Canada, we'll be able to produce these oil sands with the same emissions as many other oils. And that's a huge breakthrough. That's good for our country's energy security and our economy.
It injects tiny droplets of fuel directly into the combustion chamber, so you get up to 40 miles per gallon highway. Enjoy every drop. The all-new Ford Focus.
Klondike presents 5 Seconds to Glory. 2 biker dudes versus a moment of intimacy.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
0 calories. Maximum Pepsi taste.
Tommy. T-H-O.
Cece. Glad you made it.
Ricky wins again.
Oh, what is this place? Iowa. Only with maximum Pepsi taste and 0 calories. Whoa. I love it when he does that.
Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball.
If you believe access to your financial advisor should be a right, not a privilege.
Join the nearly 7 million who invest with Edward Jones, ranked highest in investor satisfaction by J.D. Power & Associates 2 years in a row.
When you give it one of over 10,000 voice commands,
Temperature 72 degrees.
An amazing thing happens. It listens. The all-new Ford Focus with class exclusive Sync with My Ford Touch.
Today's game presented by Lowe's is sponsored by the all-new Ford Focus. Ford Drive One by Klondike Ice Cream. What would you do for a Klondike bar? And by ExxonMobil, taking the world's toughest energy challenges.
How about that shot? Woo.
Of course, that was done yesterday, the first time they've seen the sun in about a month. There's a pop-up by Heisey. Now, that is a slight exaggeration, but for many of you watching around the Midwest, I mean, heck, back in Cincinnati, the month of April was the second rainiest month in the history of the city. Not the second rainiest April, the second rainiest month ever recorded.
Man.
And going back to your hometown, Timmy, and I know we're on today in Memphis, Tennessee.
Right. And the floods down there are just horrific. I've spoken to many friends and families down there, and we are hopeful that the families in Memphis make it through their travails. It is horrible down there. The flooding in the Mid-South area has just been, well, unprecedented.
Yep. And of course, all our thoughts and prayers to all those even down in Tuscaloosa, where we're on today after that horrific tornado came through a little more than a week ago.
The most dramatic April that I can remember.
Ryan Hannigan lifts one into left field. Drifting back on it is Colvin. And on a day where the wind is blowing in from Lake Michigan, that's caught at the warning track. DirecTV game break. Here's Chris Rose.
Tom, earlier we saw Evan Longoria's first RBI of the season. How about this? His first homer of the year. That is a 3-run shot. It is Longoria 4, Baltimore nothing. That in the third. Remember to see every baseball game, the most in HD. It's 1-800-DIRECTV. Tom and Tim.
Chris, thank you very much. Of course, that's what makes that Tampa Bay turnaround even more remarkable. But they ripped off a 17-6 record without having Longoria in that lineup.
After losing 8 of their first 9. That Longoria, I'll tell you, lightning fast. Talk about a turnaround. He could turn that inside fastball as quick as anybody in the game, and he did it again today for that 3-run home run.
2 down, nobody on. 2-0 on Valaika. And that one right back to the mound. Nice play by Coleman. And a 1-2-3-4, his first perfect inning, needing only 7 pitches to do it.
Your advertising mail campaign's paying off.
Business is good.
Must be if you're doing all that overnight shipping. That must cost a fortune.
It sure does.
Well, if it doesn't have to get there overnight, you could save a lot with Priority Mail flat rate envelopes. One flat rate to any state, just $4.95.
That's cool and all, but it ain't my money. I seriously do not care.
So you don't care what anyone says. You want to save this company money.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Priority Mail flat rate envelopes, just $4.95. Only from the Postal Service. A simpler way to ship.
Whoa! I got a winner! I got it!
At 89 cents, everyone's a winner. The new cheesy double-decker taco. A crunchy taco and nacho cheese sauce all wrapped up. So it's like getting twice the taco. Only at Taco Bell. Why pay more?
Gout's root cause is high uric acid. If you have gout, high uric acid can lead to more attacks. To help reduce attacks, lower your uric acid. Uloric lowers uric acid levels in adults with gout. It's not for the treatment of high uric acid without a history of gout. Uloric reduces uric acid to help you reach a healthy level.
Don't take Uloric if you are taking azathioprine, mercaptopurine, or theophylline. Gout may flare when starting Uloric. Don't stop taking it. Your doctor may give you other medicines to help prevent flares. A small number of heart attacks, strokes, and heart-related deaths were seen in studies. It's not certain Uloric caused them. Certain tests to check liver function may be required. Tell your doctor about liver or kidney problems or history of heart disease or stroke. The most common side effects are liver problems, nausea, gout flares, joint pain, and rash.
If you have gout, ask your doctor about Uloric.
In baseball, miracles can happen when a team works together.
2 out, bottom of the 9th, down to their last strike.
The same is true in the fight against cancer. That's why MLB has teamed up with Stand Up to Cancer. Because we believe that when we all stand up together,
41,000 on their feet.
We can make cancer history.
Now everybody's standing. What a buzz in this building.
This is beyond a dream. Stand up with MLB at standuptocancer.org.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Bronson Arroyo set to take the ball. We'll be facing Carlos Pena, Giovanni Soto, and Blake DeWitt. No runs, 3 hits for the visitors. No runs, 2 hits for the home team. The Reds have left 5 men on base. Chicago has stranded 4. Cincinnati puts a big shift on the left-handed batting Pena. The lone infielder standing between the 2nd and 3rd base bags is the 3rd baseman Chris Valaika. A slight rain begins to fall for the first time during the game. We had a shower much like this one about 15 minutes before our first pitch today.
Ryan Hannigan, the catcher, hitting the hardest ball that's been hit in this game. And I'm sure Ryan's thinking right now, if that ball didn't get out, I can call the game a little differently. I can use the fat part of the plate with Bronson Arroyo. And that's what happens. I mean, when you hit a ball like that and it doesn't get out at Wrigley Field, then you check the flags again and realize that you don't have to be as fine in calling the game as you would normally be in this ballpark. Fastball inside.
And it's bunted. How about that?
Great play.
A 2-strike bunt by Pena, and that's a bunt hit. That's the last thing in the world the Reds or anyone else would be looking for from Pena.
Anyone else includes the 2 broadcasters for Fox. How about that? I wonder if that's the first 2-strike bunt of Carlos Pena's career. I mean, you can certainly understand it.
I'd bet a lot of money on it.
I would too. I would say that that is the first time that Carlos Pena's ever bunted with 2 strikes.
We can tell you that is the first time an opponent has had a bunt hit against Cincinnati this year.
That's right.
Now, you want to talk about long odds?
They're long. That's long.
If somebody would have said the first bunt hit against the Reds this year is going to come from Carlos Pena, oh, and by the way, it's with 2 strikes, that'd be like hitting the lottery if you put $2 down on that.
Oh, man.
Pena wanting timeout over there at first base. He might be asking his first base coach over there, Bobby Dernier, did that just happen? Bobby Dernier, a nice ball player in his day.
Well, I'll say 218 major league stolen bases by Bob Dernier, most of them with the Chicago Cubs. Starting in the Philly organization, then when Dallas Green, the manager of the Phillies in 1980, came over to run the club, he took a lot of the talent with him. One of them, a Hall of Fame second baseman by the name of Ryne Sandberg.
And of course, there was so much talk about Ryne Sandberg becoming the next Chicago Cubs manager after Lou Piniella stepped away from that job last year to be with his ailing mother down in Florida, and Mike Quade took over. The team played very well under Quade. They went 24-13 to finish the year. But most people felt like Sandberg had put in his dues, if you will, paid his dues by managing in the Cubs minor league system. And it came down to those two, and Quade got the job. Down to third, Valleca, Phillips. That's a double play.
After the 2-strike bunt, Pena erased at second, and Soto erased at first. Nobody in the National League catches the ball defensively better than the Cincinnati Reds. It's deceiving. 988 fielding percentage last year. That can be deceiving. The defensive percentages, as a matter of fact, one of the more deceiving statistic in baseball.
Now, this is just an outstanding defensive Cincinnati team, especially when they have their regulars in there with Rolen at third and Giannis at short. I mean, it's not a stretch at all. You and I were talking before the game. For some reason, when they vote on the Gold Glove Award, you know, every guy who plays first is voted on at first, and second, and short, and third, and catcher. That ball in the air. Pretty well hit. Right field. Bruce looks up. Goodbye. Home run, Blake DeWitt.
Blake DeWitt probably saying, who says you can't turn the wind around? You don't see too many guys hitting home runs into the teeth of that wind here at Wrigley Field. And I mean, it's right into the teeth of the gale.
First home run of this season for DeWitt.
That's almost as surprising as a 2-strike bunt by Pena.
Pulled a mild foul by Colvin. You know, we're talking about the Gold Glove. In the outfield, for some reason, all outfielders are included in the Gold Glove award. And what I mean is they don't make it position specific. So more times than not, you'll have 3 center fielders that will be the Gold Glove award winners, especially in recent years in the National League, rather than saying, okay, 1 left fielder, 1 center fielder, 1 right fielder, because if they voted in right field, last year Bruce would have won the Gold Glove.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. I think if a right fielder wins the Gold Glove, he should be the right fielder all the time. I don't believe you pick 3 outfielders as Gold Glove winners, but that's how baseball has done it ad nauseum for a long time. Because that almost rules out left fielders, because left fielders are your poorer fielders in the outfield. So very few left fielders have a chance to win a Gold Glove.
Of course, the only guy that did, he had the corner on the market for many, many years, was Barry Bonds, because he was so good in left field.
Right.
But he's the last corner guy that I can remember. And Timmy, you know, if I'm not thinking of somebody, let me know.
No,
but he's the last corner guy that I remember winning regular Gold Gloves. Larry Walker would be another.
Right.
Swing and a miss will end the inning. But a scoreless tie broken on the long ball by Blake DeWitt.
There was a town held captive by an evil gas pump. It fed on people's hard-earned money. But along came the Michelin Man, who reminded them the right tire changes everything. And with fuel-efficient tires in place, that evil gas pump wasn't so evil anymore. Michelin Energy Saver AS tires can help save up to 109 gallons of fuel. Michelin, a better way forward.
Klondike presents 5 Seconds to Glory. Mark versus listening to his wife.
I was over at Jim and Nancy's today. Do you remember them? We had dinner with them a couple weeks ago over at Jill's house.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Take care of your engine, and it'll go far. One way I can take care of my engine, One-A-Day Men's, a complete multivitamin for my overall health. Plus, it supports my heart health and helps maintain healthy blood pressure. Whoa. Kinda makes your heart race, huh?
Dad? It's time. You'd be a really nice catch for somebody. Please?
Just for Men takes 5 easy minutes, targets only the gray hair, and can start something great.
Yes!
Just for Men.
The 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 engine in the Jeep Grand Cherokee has a best-in-class driving range of more than 500 miles per tank. Which means you don't have to worry about finding a gas station. Which is good, because there just might not be one.
If you have the audacity to believe a financial advisor should talk with you, not at you.
Join the nearly 7 million investors who think like you do. FaceTime and Think Time make a difference. At Edward Jones, it's how we make sense of investing.
Burger King created an enticing alliance of brainiacs and carnivores to formulate the BK Stacker, a crave-crushing quotient of beef, bacon, budget, and cheese for a head-slappingly simple 1, 2, 3. The BK Stacker, only at Burger King.
Ball one as we begin the top half of the 5th inning. Blake DeWitt home run in the bottom of the 4th has given Chicago a 1-0 lead. Casey Coleman has pitched into trouble, and Casey Coleman has pitched out of trouble. Reds left a runner in scoring position in the 1st, 1 on in the 2nd. He got Jay Bruce on a ground out when the Reds left him loaded in the 3rd before a 1-2-3 4th inning. Drew Stubbs to follow, and then Edgar Renteria. Arroyo singled into center field, leading off the 3rd inning. Not this time. So on this first Saturday in May, alongside Tim McCarver, I'm Thom Brennaman. And Timmy, I know I'm speaking for you and for myself. For those of you who still have your mom out there Boy, give her lots of hugs and kisses tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day, everybody, tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a great day. In fact, the last time the Cubs won a World Series was the first official Mother's Day ever celebrated in this country, 1908. And then, then Woodrow Wilson made it really official in 1914. But just imagine that. The last time the Cubs won a World Series, 1908, was the first time that Mother's Day was celebrated in this country.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And the debut of Take Me Out to the Ball Game that same year. And you see President Taft, who, of course, is from Cincinnati.
Of course. I've been to the Taft House in Cincinnati, now great for visitors. And he succeeded Teddy Roosevelt.
There you see on the building out in right field, after championships is what AC stands for. And then you have it broken down, a diving play made by Aramis Ramirez.
That's a big league sparkler right there. A sure double taken away by Aramis Ramirez. Normal speed. Big league play.
Yep. We're talking about the numbers out there on that building. And a series of numbers is what's represented out there. You have after championships 0-2. That means it's been 2 years since they won a divisional title. 65 years since the Cubs won a National League pennant. 102 years since winning the World Series. Popped up by Renteria. And this will be another 1-2-3 inning for Casey Coleman, thanks in large part to the play by Ramirez.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
Want your weeds to hit the road? Hit them with Roundup Extended Control. One application kills weeds and puts down a barrier to stop new ones for up to 4 months. Roundup Extended Control. Spray once, stop weeds for months.
Hey, Nolan Ryan. How you doing? Good. You need some help on your lawn project? It needs some big league help. Scott's is the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. And here at Lowe's, we can show you how to get winning results at home. I played on a lot of great fields in my day, and I want that same big league look for my lawn.
Excuse me, can I have your autograph, please?
Sure. What's your name?
Actually, his autograph, if you don't mind.
It's opening day for your lawn. Visit your local Lowe's for savings and a free MLB Fan Guide. Compliments of Scott's.
Go easy on him. He's a legend.
Edmunds.com says that Lexus holds its value better than any other luxury brand. IntelliChoice proclaims that Lexus has the best overall value of any brand. And J.D. Power & Associates ranks Lexus the highest in customer satisfaction. No wonder more people have chosen Lexus over any other luxury brand 11 years in a row. See your Lexus dealer.
Klondike presents 5 Seconds to Glory. Mark is listening to his wife.
I was over at Jim and Nancy's today. Do you remember them? We had dinner with them a couple weeks ago over at Jill's house.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Dad? It's time. You'd be a really nice catch for somebody. Please?
Just for Men takes 5 easy minutes, targets only the gray hair, and can start something great.
Yes!
Just for Men.
Fox Saturday Baseball is presented by Lowe's. Lowe's, let's build something together. Let's bring you up to speed with our Jeep Eagle game summary. A very impressive outing by Casey Coleman. Has allowed just 3 hits, no runs in 5 innings. Arroyo's been very sharp as well, but allowed the solo shot in the last inning to Blake DeWitt. And the Cubs continue to struggle with runners in scoring position. But they do lead 1-0.
Yeah, they solved that problem, the solo home run.
Fouled out a play by Coleman, who lined out to the shortstop Renteria his first time up. Oh, and 2 to Coleman. Arroyo's walked 2. He's allowed 4 base hits and the 1 run. And has now struck out 2. For some of the Reds we caught up with before the game would like to send out happy Mother's Day greetings. Boys, take it away.
Hey, Mom. I just want to wish you happy Mother's Day. Tell you I love you and I appreciate everything you do.
Hey, Mom. Just wanted to take a minute to wish you happy Mother's Day. Sorry I couldn't be there with you, but I'll see you soon.
If it wasn't for you, Mom, I wouldn't be the man that I am today, and I wouldn't be where I am right now. So, happy Mother's Day to you. I love you.
Jay Bruce from Texas. Bruce Stubbs from Texas. Brandon Phillips grew up in Stone Mountain, Georgia. His mom and dad come to Cincinnati every single homestand during the year. They have been married for nearly 50 years.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Well, you talk about just wonderful people. His dad, a sales representative, and was a wide receiver at Shaw University in Raleigh. That's where he met his wife, who was a power forward on the women's basketball teams. And you talk about a sports family. Brandon had an older brother who played in the Rangers system. His sister was just recently drafted in the WNBA out of the University of Georgia, a 2-time All-American, and has a little brother who's in the Angels organization. It is a wonderful family.
Wonderful and talented.
Indeed. That ball hit hard into left center field, and it will find the gap up against the vines this time of year. And that's a 1-out double for Fukudome.
I know you may find that disconcerting to see Fukudome hold his hands that far away from his body. Not many major league hitters can hit like that with those arms extended, but Fukudome off to his best extended start as a member of the Cubs. Been on base 3 times. There's that unusual move. It almost looks uncomfortable, but certainly comfortable in driving the ball to left center. 2 hits in the game and on base 3 times.
So now runner in scoring position for Darwin Barney, who has bounced into a 6-4-3 out, not a double play. And then bounced into a fielder's choice, starting with the third baseman Valleca back in the 3rd inning. Breaking ball fouled away. It's 0-2. The lights again have been turned on. They were yesterday for a very early afternoon start, but the sun was peeking in and around yesterday. Not much today. Oh, and 2 to Barney. Popped up behind the plate. Hannigan with room. 2 out. Well, 3 weeks from today, Saturday, May the 28th, the UEFA Champions League final comes to Fox with a rematch of the 2009 final. Barcelona looking for its 3rd championship in 6 years against Man U. Manchester United looking to avenge their 0-9 defeat and claim their 2nd title in 4 years. Fox Sports exclusive coverage on Saturday, May 28th is at 2 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific in high definition.
We understand that's like the Yankees-Red Sox, Barcelona and Manchester United. That rivalry, Europeans most intense.
So that probably means that you and Joe Buck will be announcing the game.
Prime time, maybe.
This is the Kyocera Echo from Sprint, the first dual touchscreen smartphone. Two's better than one. Ask Double Dream Hands Man, who just released his latest tour de force, Double Dream Feet. With 2 screens, watch it and email it. Text it and tweet it. Let's make this masterpiece just as famous, twice as fast. And together, we can give one-hit wonders a second life. The Echo smartphone, only from Sprint.
There was a town held captive by an evil gas pump. It fed on people's hard-earned money. But along came the Michelin Man, who reminded them the right tire changes everything. And with fuel-efficient tires in place, that evil gas pump wasn't so evil anymore. Michelin Energy Saver AS tires can help save up to 109 gallons of fuel. Michelin, a better way forward.
With DirecTV, you can start watching in one room, pause, and continue watching in any other room. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
It's raining, it's pouring, but I ain't complaining, 'cause I love the rain. It's raining.
Stay inside? Nah. Not when you have a 5-star overall vehicle score for safety. One more reason Chevy Traverse delivers more.
Today's game presented by Lowe's is sponsored by Chevrolet, proud to support youth baseball across the country, by Michelin, a better way forward, and by DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, direct TV. Part of the order for the Reds here in the 6th inning, trailing Casey Coleman and the Cubs 1-0. And Coleman has had his way with the league's MVP. Has struck him out twice. Again, if you're just joining us, Votto has been on base in every Reds game this season, either by hit, walk, or hit by a pitch. Brandon Phillips to follow, and then Jay Bruce. Now, this was a tweet sent out by Brandon Phillips. Says, I'm going to be wearing that microphone for the Fox Saturday game of the week today. Be advised. One of the most affable young men you will ever spend time around. A real fan favorite in Cincinnati is Brandon Phillips. He's not real popular in St. Louis.
No.
And there's a 4-pitch walk. And he is wearing a microphone. Let's listen in our Fox sounds of the game.
Ooh.
Man, baby, I'm a man. Chris Rose, I'm not okay. It hurts. Coming out the game. Hey, I didn't want to hit by pitch. I wanted to walk. I wanted to take the walk. I didn't want to hit by pitch.
Brandon bringing Chris Rose into the mix.
Yeah. Must be Twitter buddies.
How about that, Chris? I mean, our man Brandon Phillips talking to you on his microphone.
Yeah, well, he is one of the best guys to follow on Twitter, by the way. He gets to visiting cities. He asks fans, where should I go? Where should I hang out? Where should I eat? And yeah, I mean, he's one of these guys that's breaking down the barrier between player and fan. It's, you know, I mean, he gets it, as we like to say.
Well, he does get it. You know, we were talking about it yesterday. A lot of teams have what's called a team caravan during the offseason. The Reds have 3 Winnebagos that go out spanning 6 states, what's called the Reds Caravan, for a 4-day time frame right at the end of January, beginning of February. And oftentimes when guys become established stars, you know, no longer will they take part in a caravan for their team. Right. Brandon Phillips would never miss it if you paid him not to be there.
By the way, he told me he's waiting for the Brennaman Twitter account.
That is not anywhere coming. Now, my dad, on the other hand, that might be very interesting, who is sitting 3 doors down from us. 2-1 account on Brandon Phillips. And this will be a double play. Casey Coleman getting it done today.
A dejected Brandon Phillips going back to the dugout, and Casey Coleman, like his dad, like his grandfather, third generation, the only third generation pitcher in Major League history, shutting out a very, very good lineup. There's the Hall of Famer, Marty Brennaman.
Yeah, you picked up the phone the other day when you were stuck on a sandbar in some boat and called him up.
That is correct.
That ball is in the air and foul ground out of play.
I said, Marty, help! Going 18 knots and running into a sandbar is not my idea of fun. It's the first time that ever happened to me. It's with 8 people, and
well, the question I have: what was my dad going to do for you sitting in Cincinnati?
I don't know. Just call for help. SOS. We need help. Oh man, not a lot of fun though.
I can't even call him to come over and babysit every now and again, and you're calling him from a sandbar. No, he'd be hurt if he heard me say that. That's not necessarily true. 1-2 to Jay Bruce. He grounded out, leaving the bases loaded. Back in the Reds' third inning.
I'll guarantee you that's not true, because we talked about Mother's Day tomorrow. Grandfathering's the greatest gig ever. I mean, ever.
That is going to stay. And then roll foul. How about that? There's nothing else you can do if you're Aramis Ramirez. Just stand there and wait on it. You're not going to throw him out. So it rolls foul on you. And as soon as it goes across that line, you pick it up or hit it.
That's right. Casey Coleman, Aramis Ramirez, waiting. Foul ball.
And we bring up, for those of you that know, and most of you do, but when that ball rolls foul, it could always hit a little pebble down there and all of a sudden come back fair, a sandbar, yeah, regularly, and come back fair. So the second it rolls foul, you make contact with it.
Right.
Well, one more out away is Casey Coleman from pitching deeper into a game than he has at any point in time in his 2011 years since going into the rotation. And that strike 3 call. 6 strikeouts, no runs surrendered by Coleman.
There are some baseball moments you just never forget.
And look who's coming up. She is gone!
And by building fields across this country, Chevrolet is proud to continue to support the famous moments still to come. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to enter for a chance for your community to win a field makeover.
Burger King created an enticing alliance of brainiacs and carnivores to formulate the BK Stacker, a crave-crushing quotient of beef, bacon, budget, and cheese for a head-slappingly simple 1, 2, 3. The BK Stacker, only at Burger King.
Whoa, I should get Mama Samsung Fascinate. Bright, colorful screen, high-speed downloads, HD video. She'll want videos of grandkids. I'm not ready for kids. What would I name it? Brian's good. Brian will make eye contact, work with his hands, return emails. Okay, Mom's getting the phone.
Get Mom a new Samsung Fascinate for $99.99 and unlimited data for only $29.99 on America's largest high-speed wireless network, Verizon.
A lot of times things are right underneath our feet, and all we need to do is change the way we're thinking about them. A couple decades ago, we didn't even realize just how much natural gas was trapped in rocks thousands of feet below us. Technologies made it possible to safely unlock this cleaner burning natural gas. These deposits can provide us with fuel for 100 years, providing energy security and economic growth all across this country. It just takes somebody having the idea, and that's where the discovery comes from.
This is dedicated to a guy we all know, taught you how to hit and how to throw. A bona fide star as coaches go, keeps the team moving on his Firestone. Firestone. The players, umpires, folks in the stands see the Firestone performance and think it's grand. So here's to the coach and his Firestone 4 for taking us out to the ball game and more. Firestone.
Legendary drivers need legendary tires.
Quite a pitcher's duel today at Wrigley Field on a chilly Saturday with the wind blowing in from Lake Michigan. A Blake DeWitt solo home run back in the fourth inning, the game's only run. So Bronson Arroyo to face Aramis Ramirez, Carlos Pena, and Giovanni Soto here in the Chicago sixth. Ramirez has bounced to short and popped up to shallow center field. Ramirez in the final year of his contract. The first 5 years as a Cub, he averaged 32 home runs and 105 runs batted in before dropping to averages of 20 and 74 over the last 2 years. Injuries certainly have taken their toll on Aramis Ramirez. But for a long time, he was among the best run producers in the National League. All of baseball, for that matter. And really, if truth be told, if the Cubs have any hopes of contending in the National League Central here in 2010, they have to get more production from their corner infielders. Last year, Derek Lee dropped off dramatically. Ramirez, all of those home runs going back to 2003. Second among all third basemen in big league baseball. Nice play by Renteria for out number one.
Fine play. Turned the wrong way initially and then turned the right way to snow cone it. Good play. By the way, Carlos Pena with that two-strike bunt base hit his last time up. It's the second time this year he's done it with 2 strikes. 17 bunt base hits in his career, and the second time this year that he has bunted with 2 strikes. It's surprising everybody. I am too.
I'm stunned by that.
I am too. Unbelievable. There it is with 2 strikes to lead off the 4th inning. Chris Faleka will not be fooled this time, however. He's even with the bag and more toward the third base position.
Oh, and 2 on Pena. Phillips from his knees throws and not in time. Well, with a shift on, it's almost impossible to believe Pena just had an infield hit. That looked like a ball better suited for the shortstop to get.
Well, you've got the infielders converging right here. It's what makes that play tough is neither the shortstop nor the second baseman are used to being in that position. Phillips makes the play, turns the wrong way, turning to his right instead of to his left. And that cost him, and Carlos Pena has a rare two-hit infield day.
So a runner at first with one out, and here's Giovanni Soto, who has walked and bounced into a double play. That play still gives you a look at the athleticism of Phillips at second base. That is still just a great play.
Yeah, that is a good point. I mean, even though he didn't get his man, I mean, even coming close, nobody comes close to making that play.
He made a play on Tuesday night, Timmy, and I'm not sure there was any other way he could have made it. And here's the play. Now he's charging in from second base. Now, that ball is flipped not behind his back, it's between his legs. Now, take a look here. As he made the step with his left foot running as hard as he couldn't bring the ball back in front of him to flip to first, or the runner would have been safe. If he'd have gone behind his back, the runner would have been safe. The only chance he had was between his legs to get one of the speediest runners in the league, Jason Bourgeois.
My gosh. Yesterday behind the back, Tuesday night between the legs.
One and one to Soto. So had a nice bounce back year last year. You see 1 for 11 with runners on today, continuing their woes for the last couple of weeks and pretty much the entire year. Soto, the rookie of the year 3 years ago, showed up in 09, overweight, out of shape, had a terrible year. Came back ready to play last season, and despite missing almost 50 games because of an injury, he played very well when healthy.
Had a bad right shoulder. He had that cleaned out with surgery in the offseason and throwing much better this year. But you know, a bad shoulder, if you're a right-handed hitter and you have a bad right shoulder, that can affect your swing too. On any pitch where you're swinging the bats and you have to extend. So it can hurt you throwing and extending as a hitter.
3-1 to Soto, and it's fouled away. One run, 6 hits for Chicago. No runs, 3 hits for the Reds. Arroyo at the 80 pitch mark. Coleman is up over 90 already. Coleman season high 97 pitches in a game. And the Cubs very much like the back end of their bullpen with a trio of Sean Marshall, Kerry Wood, and Carlos Marmol, their closer.
Bronson Arroyo realizing that if he took that same high leg kick from the stretch, that he'd be much easier to run on. But he doesn't do that from the stretch.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Strike him out, throw him out. Double play will end the inning.
And that's why he got his man.
So 1-0 game. Reds coming up. We're back after a word from your local Fox station.
You're watching Major League Baseball on Fox.
Building your home is building your dream, and the experts to help you get it done right are at Spahn & Rhodes. Anderson windows come in styles, shapes, and sizes to fit any purpose and every personality. With natural wood interiors, low-maintenance exteriors, and a host of elegant options, it's no wonder professional builders and remodelers choose Anderson windows more often than any other brand. Whatever your project, from start to finish, it's Spahn & Rhodes.
Savings and value is what Toyota does best. After all, Toyota is the most fuel-efficient full-line auto manufacturer in the industry. And we have the lowest ownership cost of any full-line car brand. So it's no wonder Toyota has the best overall value of any full-line manufacturer. And remember, every Toyota comes with Toyota Care, the industry's first complimentary maintenance plan. We're #1 for a reason. Come see for yourself. Hurry in for the best selection.
You've seen our patio on the news countless times, but it was so blah. So all of us here at CBS 2 and Fox 28 decided we needed a patio paradise. And wow, what a paradise it's gonna be. We contacted 3 great local businesses to help us design a plan. Crow Concrete Products, providing us with all of our landscaping materials, a grand fireplace, pillars, and pavers. Outdoor Creations Landscape Design. They make the indoors envious. And Fleming Nursery will provide beautiful plans to finish off the design. Stay tuned. Young men raised on tough streets.
I was actually street boxing.
With few options.
No headgear, just straight gloves, getting it on.
At risk of falling through the cracks.
Street fighting, basically.
But not here, where their dreams begin. This is a place where young Iowans learn discipline, courage, how to take their fights off the streets by bringing them into the ring. CBS 2 anchor Jack Miller shows us how these Cedar Rapids kids are learning to become young men and realize championship dreams. Monday night at 10 only on CBS 2 News.
You're watching Eastern Iowa's Fox 28.
Fox Saturday Baseball is presented by Lowe's. Casey Coleman climbs a mound to begin the 7th inning with a 1-0 lead over the Reds, and he starts off Chris Heisey, ball 1 away. Activity for the first time today in both bullpens. Both starters have been outstanding. Needless to say, in a 1-0 game, Coleman has only allowed 3 hits, Arroyo 6. Kerry Wood, a right-hander, throws for the Cubs. Aroldis Chapman, a left-hander, throws for Cincinnati. Three and one. Well, we were talking about the back end of the Cubs bullpen. You give them the lead at the end of 5, and the primary trio has been very good. This is not the way Coleman wanted to start the 7th inning with a 1-0 lead.
I think that primary trio is going to be tested again.
Well, this week, Andre Ethier, the Dodgers in New York City, and stopped by the MLB Fan Cave, where 2 lucky guys are watching every game during the 2011 year. You can find out what's going on by logging on to MLBFancave.com. You want to stop by there, Timmy? You're in New York a lot.
Well, I'm going to be there. We're doing 3 straight primetime games, and I will be there. Not this coming week, but the week after that. Looking forward to it.
Of course, Andre Ethier, what a great story he's been, extending his hitting streak to 30 games.
He did it in New York last night against the New York Mets in a losing effort. Mets won it 6-3. 3-run home run by Pridey, but Andre Ethier, the talk of Los Angeles, and do the Dodgers ever need that with all the stuff that's going on with that celebrated franchise now?
He'll be trying to tie the Dodgers all-time franchise record of 31 in a row, held by Willie Davis. And Chris Young will be on the mound facing Ethier and the Dodgers for the Mets tonight. They like to play hit and run with Hannigan. He is a guy that puts the bat on the ball. And when you're having a hard time getting hits, having a hard time putting people on base since the 3rd inning. Hannigan taking a long look down to Mark Berry, the third base coach. Billy Hatcher. We were talking about Bobby Dernier. Well, there's another heck of a player, Billy Hatcher, over there at first. Talked about Dernier, a little over 200 stolen bases. Hatcher had nearly 300. A World Series hero, of course, for the Reds back in 1990. Billy Hatcher.
And almost a playoff hero in the 14th inning of Game 6 against the Mets in 1986. A game won by the Mets in 16, one of the great postseason games ever.
Hit and run, and this will be banged into right field, a base hit. So he talked about Hannigan, the love the hit and run with Hannigan at the plate, and he delivers, and the Reds have him on the corners with nobody out.
Now, what is so valuable about a contact hitter who can hit a base hit or get a base hit in the outfield is you are assured that that runner at first base will get to third. And now that's going to be all for Coleman. A great job, but for the Reds, first and third, nobody out here in the seventh.
Boy, great job indeed by Coleman. That kid pitched one heck of a ball game here today.
He did.
If you think heroes are only in movies, consider this. Over 70% of firefighters are local volunteers. These are our neighbors putting their lives on the line. And when they rely on a battery, there are firefighters everywhere who trust Duracell. And now you can join with Duracell to help. Just buy specially marked packs, and Duracell will make a battery donation to local volunteers. These days, don't we all need someone to trust? Duracell, trusted everywhere.
There was a town held captive by an evil gas pump. It fed on people's hard-earned money. But along came the Michelin Man, who reminded them the right tire changes everything. And with fuel-efficient tires in place, that evil gas pump wasn't so evil anymore. Michelin Energy Saver AS tires can help save up to 109 gallons of fuel. Michelin, a better way forward.
Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
Want your weeds to hit the road? Hit them with Roundup Extended Control. One application kills weeds and puts down a barrier to stop new ones for up to 4 months. Roundup Extended Control. Spray once, stop weeds for months.
The Chevy Cruze Eco gets up to 42 miles per gallon.
What? Sam, get your ears cleaned out.
What did he say?
42 wild Italians.
Huh?
It's a cruise for plus-size individuals. It's a commercial, that's all.
I'm pretty sure he said the Chevy Cruze Eco.
A commercial for Eagles?
Eagles, no, Eco.
It's the Chevy Cruze Eco, gets up to 42 miles per gallon.
Who asked you?
Amazingly fuel-efficient Chevy Cruze Eco.
Turn up the volume.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written.
Reds have runners on the corners, trailing 1-0 here in the top half of the 7th inning with none out. Fred Lewis, a pinch hitter, against Kerry Wood, back wearing a Cub uniform again. Lewis just brought up to the big league club after suffering an injury at the end of spring training. They signed him as an offseason free agent, and this will bring in the tying run in the game. They get the out at second, but that's all. So a 1-1 affair on the ground out by Fred Lewis, plating Chris Heisey, who led off the inning by drawing a walk.
Darwin Barney with only one play. Normally, if a shortstop has to throw back to get the runner, no chance for a double play. Lewis too fast. And now Arroyo, it's funny how things happen, but that force out allows Arroyo to stay in the game to bunt the runner over.
So Lewis, in just 3 at-bats since being brought up from the minor leagues, has 2 RBIs. He had a pinch hit home run a couple of days ago after being called up against Houston. Arroyo has a sacrifice this year. He has a hit and 2 at-bats today. Well, who could ever forget the Kerry Wood that came to the major leagues as a #1 pick, a native Texan. And of course, they celebrated that anniversary as it's butted in the air, and no one will get to it. You go back to May the 6th, Timmy, 1998, when Kerry Wood, then as a starter, faced the Houston Astros, his 5th career start, and struck out 20 batters. And boy, that was a lineup now. I mean, it had Biggio, Derek Bell, Lance Berkman, Moises Alou. That's a club that went to the playoffs with the Astros that year.
That was a lineup that made contact a lot. That's what made it unusual. To tie a major league record, Roger Clemens the other, he did it twice.
And then Randy Johnson.
And then Randy Johnson, right.
With the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Wood, all the injuries, and I mean, year after year seemingly, which kept him from becoming the pitcher everybody thought he would become. But having said all that, he has still had an outstanding major league career, both as a starter, later became the closer, left the Cubs a couple of years ago, and as a closer in Cleveland, wound up last season with the Yankees at the end of the year. And the only place he wanted to pitch again was right here where it all started. And now he's setting up Carlos Marmol. Of course, our old buddy here on Fox, who broadcasts games every single week, former Cub and Diamondback first baseman Mark Grace. He was in the field behind 2 of those 20 strikeout games. The one for Wood and the one for Johnson. Nice 2-strike bunt by Arroyo. And the throw is high. But coming down on the bag. A nice play by DeWitt.
Boy, what a play by Blake DeWitt. He has a solo home run to give the Cubs a run this afternoon, and this throw, that save may have saved a run eventually. That ball certainly goes down the right field line. Fred Lewis goes to at least third base. That is just a fine play by Blake DeWitt.
Go ahead run for the Reds at second base. 2 outs in the inning, and here's Drew Stubbs. Strike 1.
No right-handed hitter in baseball would have hit that last pitch from Kerry Wood. That ball accelerating outside off the plate. Vicious velocity. See those pitches occasionally from a pitcher like Wood, and you say, nobody hits that pitch.
Try to go out there again, and this time, although a little less mustard on it, Stubbs lays off a ball and a strike. Sean Marshall getting ready in the Cub bullpen, and he's only getting ready for one guy. And that's 2 batters away in Joey Votto. Right down the middle, a fastball. Wood trying to end this Cincinnati 7th. Instead, it's a single to center, and the Reds have the lead on a 2-out, 2-strike hit by Drew Stubbs. What a clutch hit that is for Stubbs and the Reds.
After taking that fastball to make it 2 strikes, Soto wanted the fastball up from Wood. He didn't get it up. And Stubbs puts the Reds on top for the first time today. You can see Soto setting up, and that ball wasn't up enough. Wood tried to flag it down with his glove or kick it, either one.
This Cub bullpen had been so good. In fact, the second best in the National League, their bullpen was, in not allowing inherited runners to score. Now, for any pitcher coming in with a runner at third and less than 2 men out, that's a tall order. So the ground out by Lewis allowed 1 to score.
Understandably, yeah.
But that last one is a big one for the Reds as they've taken their first lead of the afternoon, a 2-run 7th inning.
Well, again, it allowed Arroyo to stay in the game, to sacrifice the runner to second base so Stubbs could drive him in. Running situation right here. Cubs thought so.
Stubbs already with a stolen base, 11 out of 12 in those situations this year. It's one of the parts about being such a young team outside of really third base for the Reds, where Scott Rowland is the regular. The rest of their everyday players are very, very young. And it's a very athletic team. So not only their defense we've talked about, but their running game. Their next stolen base will be their 30th as a team, which would be tied for third most in the league. The Cubs, on the other hand, have only attempted 12 stolen bases all year.
That's the lowest number of attempts in the major leagues. When you think about the Cubs as an organization, they have never been a running club. It's like the Red Sox before adding Ellsbury and Carl Crawford. Never a running club because of the dimensions of the ballpark in which they play.
And how ironic it is that going back to the Dave Roberts stolen base.
Yeah, right.
To turn that LCS around against the New York Yankees.
Mariano Rivera, Dave Roberts steal, and the single by Bill Miller to tie it the 9th. Red Sox go on to win 4 against the Yankees and then swept the Cardinals in the World Series back in 2004.
2-2 on Renteria. There goes Stubbs, and a swing and a miss will end the inning. But the Reds score twice. They stand and stretch in Chicago. Cincinnati leads 2-1.
The 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 engine in the Jeep Grand Cherokee has a best-in-class driving range of more than 500 miles per tank. Which means you don't have to worry about finding a gas station. Which is good, because there just might not be one.
DirecTV, you can start watching in one room, pause, and continue watching in any other room. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
With the rising price of fuel, guess which way shipping costs are going? The U.S. Postal Service has no fuel surcharges. Combine that with low online pricing, and your shipping costs could head in a whole new direction. It's time to rethink your shipping.
Because I had a good teacher, I learned about more than cars.
Like responsibility.
Doing things right.
Dad.
Introducing Valvoline Next Gen. Backed by the Valvoline Engine Guarantee Program, it's 50% recycled oil, 100% Valvoline protection.
Dad? It's time. You'd be a really nice catch for somebody. Please?
Just for Men takes 5 easy minutes, targets only the gray hair, and can start something great.
Yes!
Just for Men.
Today's game presented by Lowe's is sponsored by Just for Men Hair Color Live Forward and by the new 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Miguel Cairo, who's been bothered by a tender knee and not been in the Reds lineup at third since the injury to Scott Rowland, comes on here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bronson Arroyo still on the mound. The Reds scored twice in the top of this 7th inning to take a 1-run lead. The lone Cub run came off the bat of this man, Blake DeWitt, and he homered to right field off Arroyo in the 4th. And there's a ground ball backhanded by Renteria, 1 out. Time for a DirecTV game break, and again we check in with our good friend Chris Rose.
All right, Tom, earlier today B.J. Upton of the Tampa Bay Rays suspended 2 games for an altercation with an umpire. Obviously he's appealing the suspension, which is bad news for the Orioles. It's his 5th homer of the year. The Rays all over the O's, 8-0 in the 6th. Remember to see every baseball game and the most in HD. It's 1-800-DirecTV. Guys?
Nice to have Chris with us here today, handling all the duties on the pregame show. Aroldis Chapman is ready if need be. In the Cincinnati bullpen, they're going to leave in Arroyo, even against a left-handed batting Tyler Colvin.
Cleveland Indians, by the way. Chris Rose, of course, from Cleveland, a big Indians fan, and the Indians have played 31 games and have won 7 games in their last at bat. Remarkable.
Really is. Of course, I didn't realize our good friend Frank Caliendo, who's on the NFL on Fox pregame show.
Right. Funny man.
Yeah, his wife is from Cleveland, and they spend a lot of time back there. He's a big Indians fan. His wife, obviously, is a huge Indians fan. And Justin Masterson, that 5-0 start, he grew up just north of Cincinnati. And now after the trade from Boston to Cleveland, he's pitching for one of the 2 teams in his home state. We saw him last year. I thought he looked very good the 2 games I saw Masterson pitch, but you know, Timmy, the numbers weren't there, and he was taken out of the Indians rotation.
Right.
Votto, the feed to Arroyo. We talked about baseball in prime time here on Fox. It all gets started next week. The Red Sox to the Bronx to battle the Yankees. Others will see the Giants and these Cubs. And our 3rd game, the Arizona Diamondbacks in Los Angeles to battle the Dodgers. Prime time presented by Lowe's begins 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. The first of 3 straight weeks of baseball in prime time here on Fox. Let me guess where you are.
That graphic may surprise a lot of people. Curtis Granderson leading the American League in home runs with 10. Got to be kidding me. Brian Price out to talk to Bronson Arroyo. 3 straight Saturdays, primetime baseball. 14th, 21st, 28th. A lot of fun.
Of course, you'll be setting up shop in New York for the next 3 weeks.
I will.
I mean, you're a cab ride away from 3 straight Fox Saturday games.
No, I don't know if a cab ride.
All right.
Yeah, maybe a vehicle of my choice.
All right, fair enough. Reed Johnson to bat with 2 down and nobody on.
Or the subway. Come on.
Really?
It's New York. I take the subway in New York, of course.
I'm glad.
Yeah, baby.
I tell you what, we do every time we go out to Citi Field.
Yeah.
It's an easy ride.
That's right. Blue line.
0-1 to Reed Johnson, swung on and missed. And here you're getting a look really at vintage Bronson Arroyo. I mean, you wonder why he's one of 5 guys in all of baseball to win 15 or more games in each of the last 3 years. And remember, last year was the first good team he pitched for. That was his first pitch out of the strike zone of the last 11 he's thrown. This will be his 90th pitch of the game. And it's a ground ball to short. Arroyo's 7 innings of 1-run baseball. His team bats in the 8th, leading by a run.
Gout's root cause is high uric acid. If you have gout, high uric acid can lead to more attacks. To help reduce attacks, lower your uric acid. Uloric lowers uric acid levels in adults with gout. It's not for the treatment of high uric acid without a history of gout. Uloric reduces uric acid to help you reach a healthy level.
Don't take Uloric if you are taking azathioprine, mercaptopurine, or theophylline. Gout may flare when starting Uloric. Don't stop taking it. Your doctor may give you other medicines to help prevent flares. A small number of heart attacks, strokes, and heart-related deaths were seen in studies. It's not certain Uloric caused them. Certain tests to check liver function may be required. Tell your doctor about liver or kidney problems or history of heart disease or stroke. The most common side effects are liver problems, nausea, gout flares, joint pain, and rash.
If you have gout, ask your doctor about Uloric.
Klondike presents 5 Seconds to Glory. Mark is listening to his wife.
I was over at Jim and Nancy's today. Do you remember them? We had dinner with them a couple weeks ago over at Jill's house.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
You don't always know where life will take you. But when you're driving the new 2011 Jeep Compass that gives you up to 29 mpg, you can take all the time you need to figure it out. The 2011 Jeep Compass, the evolution of a legendary bloodline. Well-qualified lessees can get a 2011 Jeep Compass Sport 4x2 for $239 a month.
America is facing some tough challenges right now. Two of the most important are energy security and economic growth. North America actually has one of the largest oil reserves in the world. A large part of that is oil sands. This resource has the ability to create hundreds of thousands of jobs. At our Curl project in Canada, we'll be able to produce these oil sands with the same emissions as many other oils, and that's a huge breakthrough. That's good for our country's energy security and our economy.
James Russell, left-hander, takes over out of Chicago Cubs bullpen. Of course, Russell, like Casey Coleman, had a father who pitched for many successful years in the major leagues, Jeff Russell. And he's in to face Joey Votto. Breaking ball in there, strike 1-1. Quiet day for Votto, struck out twice and drawn a walk. Good breaking ball there by Russell. The right-hander Mateo, the left-hander Russ is John Grabo now getting loose in the Cub pen. Logan Ondrusek, second-year right-hander, throwing in the Reds bullpen. Russell has Cincinnati ties. We talked about his dad, Jeff Russell. That's where he grew up. Played high school baseball in Cincinnati, and then James was born there, but of course he wound up growing up just outside of Dallas, where his father was the closer for a number of seasons for the Texas Rangers.
Traded there from the Reds.
There's ball 4 to Votto. We've enjoyed listening to Brandon Phillips, our Fox Sounds of the game, and here's some more for you.
I forgot who was playing right field, man. Fukudomi be catching all them crap. Fukudomi catch everything, man. Look at this. So no more leg kick? No more leg kick? Yeah. Hey, it's working. It looks good.
We talked about the extended arms of Fukudome. Well, no more leg kick either.
One in the air to left field. Colvin's got it, 1 out. Well, Russell's going to stay in there to face the left-handed batting Jay Bruce. Bruce 0 for 3 is struck out looking. Left the bases loaded on a ground out in the 3rd inning, and then looked at strike 3 again against Casey Coleman in the 6th.
Sometimes you look back on an at bat and say, boy, if I hadn't missed that pitch, that was a good pitch to hit. And I'm sure if Jay makes an out in this at bat, he'll look back on that first pitch and say, I missed one. That was a hanging slider right in the middle of the plate.
And he got a fastball right down the middle and fouled that one straight back. Certainly the one batter Casey Coleman will look back on today. You know, whether the team takes him off the hook and he doesn't get a loss, right now he is a pitcher of record for the Cubs. But it was that leadoff walk to Heisey in the 7th. 2 out.
If you could convince young pitchers when they're in the minor leagues, their mantra should be all leadoff walks score. Now, obviously, that's not the case, but if you can tell them that and convince them of that fact, there'd be fewer leadoff walks when you get to the big leagues.
So they're going to go to Mateo out of the bullpen, and we'll step aside, and we'll be back in a moment.
Hey, Susie, why don't you use this? It's got a calculator.
Thanks, Dad. This is the neighborhood. You get Elm Street, and you get Main Street. Thank you. And that's just the first quarter.
So you want a slide in your office?
Or monkey bars, either one.
More small businesses choose Verizon Wireless than any other wireless carrier.
Where's Susie?
Is she expecting you?
Because they know the small business with the best technology rules.
Hi. Welcome. Thanks for coming. We're going to head on into the interview.
Was fuel efficiency an important factor in buying this car?
Oh, definitely. As all my friends would tell you, I am one of the cheapest people you'll ever meet. And whenever I was filling up with gas before, I'd have a scowl on my face.
You seem very comfortable up there. Have you done this before?
No, I haven't, and I'm actually terrified right now.
Well, I basically started noticing my hair loss a couple years ago, so I started using Rogaine foam.
Only Rogaine foam is shown to regrow hair in 85% of guys.
It just brought about a lot of confidence.
Try new unscented Rogaine foam. Learn more at Rogaine.com.
Take care of your engine, and it'll go far. One way I can take care of my engine, One-A-Day Men's, a complete multivitamin for my overall health. Plus, it supports my heart health and helps maintain healthy blood pressure. Whoa. Kinda makes your heart race, huh?
MLB Network has more action all season long.
It's another walk-off win!
Because MLB Tonight takes you inside the park live every night with more highlights, analysis, and live look-ins to the big moments across the league.
And he makes the play!
MLB Network also has live games 4 nights a week, over 100 this season.
He's got a party waiting for him at home plate.
The coverage on MLB Tonight, the games on MLB Network. Go to MLBnetwork.com for schedule and channel number.
Marcos Mateo originally came up through the Reds organization, traded to the Cubs in 2007. And now he pitches for the 17th time already this year.
Had a no decision in yesterday's game, facing 2 batters in relief, so he's back in there today.
Facing Chris Heisey with a runner at first and 2 outs. The Reds with a 2-1 lead. And it's ball 1 low to Heisey, who started the 2-run rally in the 7th with a leadoff walk and scored the first Reds run. Broken bat pop up, and this will do it in the 8th. So do the Reds go to the bullpen? or does Arroyo stay in the game? 2-1, bottom of the 8th coming up.
Just because I'm a car guy doesn't mean I don't care about the environment.
Or being green, as if all I care about is my car.
My engine. And my wife gets to work.
Well, maybe.
But I also care about doing things right.
And what I'm leaving behind for the next car guy.
Introducing Valvoline Next Gen. Recycled oil made from a breakthrough process to exceed industry standards and match Valvoline's superior quality. Backed by the Valvoline Engine Guarantee Program, it's 50% recycled oil, 100% Valvoline protection.
Because I'm a car guy, I leave things in better shape than I find them.
Edmunds.com says that Lexus holds its value better than any other luxury brand. IntelliChoice proclaims that Lexus has the best overall value of any brand. And J.D. Power & Associates ranks Lexus the highest in customer satisfaction. No wonder more people have chosen Lexus over any other luxury brand 11 years in a row. See your Lexus dealer.
You've reached the age where you don't back down from a challenge. This is the age of knowing how to make things happen. So why would you let something like erectile dysfunction get in your way? Isn't it time you talk to your doctor about Viagra? 20 million men already have. With every age comes responsibility. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing. This is the age of taking action. Viagra. Talk to your doctor. See if America's most prescribed ED treatment is right for you.
Today's game presented by Lowe's is sponsored by Viagra, by your local Lexus dealer, and by Valvoline Next Gen. So the question we answered as we were going away to break, would it be Arroyo, would it be Logan Ondrusek? The red starter remains in the game to face Fukudome, Barney, and Bird. And you really get an idea here, maybe than any other illustration you could have, about how much trust Dusty Baker puts in Bronson Arroyo. Most times in a one-run game, when a pitcher is facing a batter for the 4th time, and he has reached base against that pitcher in all 3 plate appearances, chances are you don't run him out there again.
Yeah, you'd run either a left-hander out there or a more experienced guy like Ondrusek.
And it's on the ground. And
Good
they take
play.
care of Fukudome.
That's a good play because Votto was on the line then and had to range far to his right to backhand a ball that he'd normally handle a lot easier. Fine play by Votto to Arroyo cover.
It's 11 ground ball outs now for Arroyo here today.
That's the point, Tom. I think that's why you leave him in the 8th inning. It's the types of outs the Cubs have been making. A lot of ground ball outs, pop flies, not a lot of balls out of the infield for over the last 3 innings.
Well, really, you look at the entire game. The Cubs, of their 6 hits, 3 of them are infield hits. Now, this one is not an infield hit. But tying on a board as Barney has his first hit in 4 at-bats.
In fact, against Arroyo, that's the first hit, the first ball that's been hit out of the infield since the top of the 5th inning or the bottom of the 5th inning.
Well, that might do it for Arroyo. We'll see. No, Dusty Baker oftentimes, because he knows Arroyo will tell him the truth, he's not even going to ask him this time. He wants Logan Ondrusek. That's a mighty fine start today by Bronson Arroyo. 7 1/3 innings. He'll give way to Ondrusek. Cubs with a tying run aboard. 1 out in the 8th.
You've reached the age where you don't back down from a challenge. This is the age of knowing how to make things happen. So why would you let something like erectile dysfunction get in your way? Isn't it time you talk to your doctor about Viagra? 20 million men already have. With every age comes responsibility. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing. This is the age of taking action. Viagra. Talk to your doctor. See if America's most prescribed ED treatment is right for you.
This is the Kyocera Echo from Sprint, the first dual touchscreen smartphone. Two's better than one. Ask Double Dream Hands Man, who just released his latest tour de force, Double Dream Feet. With 2 screens, watch it and email it. Text it and tweet it. Let's make this masterpiece just as famous, twice as fast. And together, we can give one-hit wonders a second life. The Echo smartphone, only from Sprint.
Bronson Arroyo leads after 7 1/3 innings, allowing 7 hits and 1 run. He'll give way to second-year right-hander Logan Ondrusek, pitching in his 19th game out of the Reds bullpen. The Reds have one of the strongest bullpens in the National League, despite the fact that arguably the best right-handed setup man in the league the last 2 years, Nick Massett, has not gotten off to a good start. Massett has lost his job temporarily anyway to Ondrusek. Although Massett looked very good here in the game yesterday in a 1-2 3/8 inning. Ondrusek out of Shiner, Texas. And the 1-1 to Marlon Byrd. This is in. Byrd is grounded to short as an infield hit back in the 3rd inning and then fouled out with a runner at second to the 3rd baseman back in the 5th. Cubs only have 1 hit today with a runner on base. Forget about scoring position. And that hit was the Marlon Byrd infield hit in that 3rd inning. Grounded foul.
Go back to what we said in the opening. If first base were home plate, the Cubs would not have lost a game all year.
I mean, they have the 4th highest team batting average in all of Major League Baseball.
And yet 27th in the league, or in the majors, in runs scored. That's hard to do that.
Swing and a foul tip into the mid of Hannigan. 2 out. Well, you saw the stat about the Cubs not doing it with runners in scoring position. Now it's time for the Just for Men Keep Your Edge spotlight. Just as Drew Stubbs gives the Reds the edge, you too can keep your edge with Just for Men mustache and beard. That was a 2-out, 2-strike base hit in the center by Stubbs to break a 1-1 tie in the 7th. Now Aramis Ramirez. Hit in the air to left field, down the line. Is it fair? Is it foul? It's foul. And that wind knocked it down as well. It would not have been enough to get out of here.
An experienced guy like Ramirez going up, looking in one zone for one pitch and trying to put the Cubs ahead here in the 8th inning. Out in front.
0-1 to Aramis Ramirez. Of course, Dusty Baker, you see him standing down in that Reds first base side dugout. For 4 years, he was a manager on the other side of this diamond, nearly taking the Cubs to their first World Series since 1945 back in that 2003 season. I'll never forget that series, Tim, as long as I live. I had the honor of calling that league championship series on Fox, and being in this ballpark for Game 6 when the Cubs were 5 outs away from going to the series. They gave 8 runs up in that fateful 8th inning. And then Kerry Wood started Game 7. The Cubs lost to the Marlins. Josh Beckett dominant in relief in that Game 7. I've never seen a sight like it in all the years having a chance to announce like the scene here. Those 2 games. Never will forget it.
Massive despondence.
The fans in the outfield along Waveland, Sheffield, hundreds of thousands of people ready to celebrate. And it wasn't meant to be. I remember walking outside the ballpark. Of all people, Michael Jordan is hiding behind a cement wall as we walked out of the ballpark that night. And we asked him, why are you standing here? What are you doing standing here? He said, there are probably 150,000 zombies walking up and down the street right now. You don't want to go out there, and neither do I. Not that anybody was in danger of getting hurt. It was just the look, as you said, of shock, despair, heartbreak, and I'm not over dramatizing. It was a sight you may never see again the rest of your life.
Yeah, disappointment doesn't even come close to explaining, from what you've told me, from what I've read, from living with it, as Cub fans have lived with it for so many years. And the Marlins go to the World Series and not the Cubs.
Swing and a miss. Andrusik does his job, striking out Bird and Ramirez. We go to the 9th. A 1-run lead for Cincinnati.
Klondike presents 5 Seconds to Glory. 2 biker dudes versus a moment of intimacy.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
To increase fuel efficiency, its profile is sculpted for optimal aerodynamics. It reduces wind resistance in an irresistible sort of way. The all-new Ford Focus with up to 40 miles per gallon highway.
Oh, my back.
뭐 도와드릴까요?
Do you have something for pain? Oh, Bear aspirin. Oh, no. I'm not having a heart attack. It's my back.
Trust me, it works great for pain.
Nothing's proven to relieve pain better than extra-strength Bear aspirin. It rushes relief to the site of pain, no matter where you're hurting.
Thanks for the tip.
For powerful pain relief, use Bear aspirin. And coming soon, Bear Advanced Aspirin, reinvented for faster pain relief.
This is the Kyocera Echo from Sprint, the first dual touchscreen smartphone. 2's better than 1. Ask Double Dream Hands Man, who just released his latest tour de force, Double Dream Feet. With 2 screens, watch it and email it. Text it and tweet it. Let's make this masterpiece just as famous, twice as fast. And together, we can give one-hit wonders a second life. The Echo smartphone, only from Sprint.
Here's the deal. You hate blowing money, but you want a ton of food. Taco Bell's $5 box. A cheesy double-decker taco, burrito supreme, taco supreme, cinnamon twist, and medium soda. All for just $5. Now that's a deal.
It might be hard to believe that the new Focus can virtually park itself. Till you actually see it park itself. The all-new Ford Focus with class-exclusive active park assist.
Will House's obsession with one patient,
Whatever's wrong with you, it's real.
kill another?
He's expecting us to indulge him while he ignores his job.
Something else is going on. Something new.
All new House. Viewer discretion advised. Monday at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Top of the 9th inning. Cincinnati holding a 2-1 lead. Marcos Mateo still on the mound for Chicago. He came on to get the final out in the top of the 8th. Two 2-0 to Ryan Hannigan. The Reds have their closer, Francisco Cordero, getting loose in the pen. It's been another good day for Hannigan. 2 days ago, knocked in 3 wins and a victory over Houston. And a couple of hits and 3 at-bats today. That was a huge at-bat back in that 7th inning after the leadoff walk to Heisey. And we talked about it at the time that maybe more so than any other player on the team, the Reds will hit and run with Hannigan as the batter. That's precisely what they did in an advantageous count. And he dropped one into right field, sending Heisey on to third.
Yeah, that set up that inning with 1st and 3rd and nobody out. Then the fielder's choice by Fred Lewis, bunted to second. You can't overlook that by Arroyo. And then the big 2-out base hit RBI by Stubbs.
One hopper down to third, and Ramirez throws out Hannigan for the first out in the inning. Well, join MLB in going to bat against breast cancer. Purchase your pink bat today at MLB.com, and $10 will be donated to the Susan G. Komen for the Cure. Mama Gomes, boy, you talk about a guy who loves his mother. I mean, we all do, right? But Johnny Gomes, the story's been told many times. We've seen it on This Week in Baseball. His parents divorced when he was a young man, and I mean, his mom was doing everything: a waitress, a hotel maid, other various jobs. And oftentimes their family, they'd have to live from time to time in a homeless shelter while they were getting enough money to find their own apartment. And he's standing in the on-deck circle, but he doesn't have that pink bat. We'll use that tomorrow.
I'll tell you, nobody appreciates being in the major leagues more than Johnny Gomes.
No doubt about it.
Nobody.
Miguel Cairo on the ground is second. There are 2 men out. I mean, there's so many things that Johnny Gomes has been through in his lifetime. You know, he was growing up, he was involved in a terrible car accident where one of his best friends was killed right before his very eyes. Gomes was in the car and talks all the time how, you know, why wasn't it me instead of him? He had a heart attack. Johnny Gomes had a heart attack back in December of 2002. And then came back a year later to make his major league debut. So, I mean, for a young man, and he's still a young man, you know, like a lot of young people out there, he's had a lot of things that he's gone through in his life. And the bottom line is he's overcome any adversity that's come his way.
You might think to yourself, how can a young man have a heart attack and then continue playing? In my experience, Joe Horner, the left-handed pitcher, who used to be an overhanded thrower, had heart problems at a very young age and had to drop down sidearm and continue to pitch for another 11 years.
Amazing.
It is.
Gomes gone on strike. So here we go. Cordero coming on in the ninth. Pena to start things in a 1-run game.
Caller. Okay.
Hey.
You haven't left yet.
No, I'm boarding now. What's up?
Would you mind doing it again?
Last time.
Oh. Sweet.
The Chevy Cruze with the My Chevrolet app.
The remote control car is finally here.
Minaj is just playing with us.
As a manager, my team counts on me to stay focused, so I take One A Day Men's 50+ Advantage. It's the only complete multivitamin with ginkgo to support memory and concentration. Plus, it supports heart health. That's a hit. One A Day Men's.
Redesigned Power E-Trade Pro. It's like hardwiring the market right into my desktop. It's quick, powerful, and intuitive, like nothing I've ever experienced. Upgrade to redesigned Power E-Trade Pro.
Hey, Nolan Ryan.
How you doing?
Good. You need some help on your lawn project?
It needs some big league help.
Scotts is the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. And here at Lowe's, we can show you how to get winning results at home.
I played on a lot of great fields in my day, and I want that same big league look for my lawn.
Excuse me, can I have your autograph, please?
Sure, what's your name?
Actually, his autograph, if you don't mind.
It's opening day for your lawn. Visit your local Lowe's for savings and a free MLB Fan Guide, compliments of Scotts.
Go easy on him, he's a legend.
Welcome back to Geico Radio. It's savings on the radio.
Hello, Clarence, from Stevens Point.
Okay, you know the grapes at the grocery store? Well, sometimes you try one, take it for a test drive, see how it tastes. Well, my wife says that's stealing. I say it's sampling. What do you think?
Yeah, listen, Clarence, I can't really speak to the moral bit, but if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds of dollars on your car insurance. You could buy a whole heap of grapes. How's that?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Don't forget, coming up tonight from Darlington, South Carolina, NASCAR on Fox, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific in high definition. All right, here we are, bottom of the 9th inning. Francisco Cordero pitching in just his 14th game. You see only 5 save chances. He's converted on all 5, including the 5-4 win here yesterday. The Cubs will send up Carlos Pena, Giovanni Soto, and Blake DeWitt. Pena more than capable with one mighty crack of the bat of tying this game. And he looks at ball 1. But Pena today has 2 infield hits.
Yeah.
A bunt hit back in the 4th inning. And then legged out that fine play made by Phillips for an infield hit in the 6th.
Pena paying attention to Cordero yesterday. Came in and threw two balls before he restored order.
And we talked about one big crack of the bat, and we're tied. Pena's first home run at Wrigley Field wearing a Cub uniform, and this one ties the game leading off the bottom of the 9th.
Boy, Tom, you talk about turning on a fastball right down the pipe. And when you fall behind, a guy who can pop the ball out of the ballpark. He's looking for that predictable fastball, got it, and tied the game.
So just like that, Coleman taken off the hook. Arroyo can't get a win. There's a ground ball to Phillips, 1 out in the 9th.
Talked about Blake DeWitt's home run earlier. It was higher than Pena's. I mean, that ball did not have a chance to be affected by the wind. The ball Pena hit. A low liner, middle of the stands.
That's how Ryan Sandberg gets so many home runs in this ballpark as a right-handed batter. Get those line drives.
Line drives that, in effect, were under the wind. Never had a chance to be affected by that flag blowing in.
So now DeWitt, who had that home run to right off Arroyo, the only run he allowed. He came back in the 4th inning. Into center field. It'll fall for a base hit. So DeWitt carrying the winning run at first base with 1 out in the 9th.
In the early innings, that ball probably would have been caught by Drew Stubbs, but not in a no-doubles defense. The no-doubles defense, for those who may not know, it's when the outfielders are required to play about 3 or 4 steps deeper to prevent a double. That ball landing in a spot that usually would be fielded by Stubbs in the air.
So now Tyler Colvin.
No doubles defense is like a football prevent defense.
Swing and a miss by Colvin.
Tyler Colvin with 20 home runs last year. We talked about it earlier. Big time power.
You know, last year Colvin, you may recall, it was frequently talked about. Lou Piniella was not getting him in the lineup regularly. And
yeah, right.
There was a situation involving broadcaster, former Cub broadcaster, now White Sox announcer Steve Stone. Critical during interleague play of Lou Piniella and not playing Colvin on a regular basis. The two ironed out their differences. But now all of a sudden here, a year later, it's ironic that Mike Quaddy is in the exact same position as Lou Piniella was.
That's
and again, it gets back to that free agent money that you have tied up in your outfield. And where is Colvin to play? You had a chance to play him at first base every day, but you brought in Carlos Pena.
Yep.
Two and two to Colvin.
Well, the Cubs have historically had a very difficult time developing young talent through the years, particularly young offensive talent.
I mean, Starlin Castro is the first guy they've had come out of their farm system that you say, okay, he's probably going to be around for a long time.
Right, right.
Strike 3 to Colvin. 2 are out.
Splitter down and out of a strike zone from Cordero.
Now Jeff Baker. Baker's played a nice role for this Cub team again this year. And when he's played, has swung the bat well.
It's an interesting choice of pinch hitters. With the winning run on at first base, you bring up Jeff Baker with Alfonso Soriano and Starlin Castro on the bench.
Of course, Mike Quaddy trying to probably take a peek and see how these guys do against Cordero. And the numbers are not very pretty for Soriano.
Right.
But he's still a guy that leads the league in home runs.
That's right. That's exactly right. That was my thinking on that. And, an extra base hit, you're in a situation where an extra base hit could win the ball game.
Light rain beginning to fall again. And there's a strike to Baker, 2-1.
This is taking nothing away from Jeff Baker, but if you're going to give yourself the best chance to win here, you may not have another chance. But if you're going to give yourself the best chance, the way I look at it, you'd bring up a guy like Soriano in this situation instead of Baker.
Well, they're going to keep an eye on that potential winning run. DeWitt over there at first with 2 outs in a 2-2 game here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Straight away center field. Hit hard. Stubbs getting spin, and it bounces in, and the Cubs are going to win the game. Or did it bounce over the wall? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It bounced into the netting out there, and they're going to bring back DeWitt and send him to third base. How about that? Thought momentarily it had hit underneath of that overhang screen area, and Mike Quaddy is saying, are you sure?
What a break for the Cincinnati Reds that this ball bounces into the stands. I think Quaddy's point is, did Drew Stubbs touch the ball?
Yep.
And he didn't. That is a great call by second base umpire Hunter Wendelstedt.
And Mike Quaddy continuing to make his point, or at least ask about it, with a home plate umpire who happens to be the crew chief, Jerry Lane. So just when you thought this game had come to an end, runners are at second and third, 2 outs, 2-2 game, and here's Fukudome.
Unbelievable.
Well, the Reds have their left-hander, Aroldis Chapman, ready in the bullpen. But they're going to leave in their closer. It is Cordero's 9th inning. Win, lose, or draw. He's already allowed a home run, a single, and now a double. And the double, a gift wrap double by bouncing over the wall for a ground rule double, preventing the winning run from scoring, which it easily would have. As you can see at home, it's raining harder. It's not hard, but harder than it has at any time during the day today in Chicago. To a 4 for Fukudome against a Reds closer. 2-2.
We talked about Hunter Wendelstedt. It was not the second base umpire, but the first base umpire who made the call that Drew Stubbs did not touch the ball before it went into the stands. So Hunter Wendelstedt had to stay at second base for a possible call there, but good hustle by Bob Davidson to make the call.
And it's over on the next swing from Fukudome. The Cubs scored 2 off Reds closer Francisco Cordero to win it in the bottom of the 9th inning, a 3-2 final. First blown save in this young season by Cordero. So there'll be a rubber game in this 3-game series tomorrow at Wrigley. A 4-hit, 2-run bottom of the 9th inning for the Cubs. We talked about at the beginning of the game all the missed chances, hitting with runners in scoring position. The Cubs unable to do it all day until the 9th.
With the Cubs trailing 2-1 in the 9th inning, a 1-0 fastball, and Pena ties it with a home run. His first at Wrigley this year. Then with the runner on at first base, 2 out, Jeff Baker, the pinch hitter, hits one beyond Drew Stubbs. Fortunately for the Reds, it did not touch his glove, and then Kosuke Fukudome with a game-winning single up the middle. What a ball game, and an excruciating loss for the Reds.
So 3-2 our final here today. Excellent pitching on both sides until that bottom of the 9th inning. And standing by with Carlos Pena is Chris Rose.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. Not a bad way to get your first homer here at Wrigley Field, huh?
No doubt. It's a great win for us, man. I was just able to put a good swing on that ball. I'm just glad I was able to contribute at the end, you know?
Be honest, that is a strange finish. I mean, when Baker hits that ball, we're all thinking, okay, Cubs win. Ball ends up hopping over the fence. So you're sitting there thinking, what is going on here?
You know, the guys were saying that never happens here. Never. Especially with the basket, that stuff, for it to happen, and it just did. So I'm just glad we stuck in there. Pregame comes out, has a great at-bat. We win the ballgame.
Real quickly, any quick Mother's Day wishes before we get...
Yeah, just want to say Mother's Day to my wife, Pam, back in Boston. Mommy, I love you.
Very nice. By the way, that doesn't get you out the hook. You got to get her something nice now.
Oh, for sure.
That way, baby.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, you got it. Tommy, back on upstairs to you.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. Great to have Chris Rose with us. Still more to come from Wrigley Field in Chicago. Cubs win in the bottom of the ninth, 3-2.
Fox and Major League Baseball are partnering to stand up to cancer.
I stand up to cancer. The statistics are alarming, but with your help, we can change that.
Cancer touches us all.
Together, we can fight.
And together, we can win.
I'm ready to stand up and fight. Are you?
Fox Sports asks you to join our team and make a donation to stand up to cancer to save lives now.
Hi, Gary Dolphin here for Spahn & Rose Lumber Company. For over a century, home builders have chosen Spahn & Rose when it comes to their building needs.
And builders choose Guardian fiberglass insulation for energy efficiency and protection against the elements. Let the Spahn & Rose team help you find the Guardian fiberglass insulation that is the perfect choice for a quiet and comfortable home.
Put the Spahn & Rose team to work for you. Spahn & Rose Lumber Company, the builder's choice for quality.
Savings and value is what Toyota does best. After all, Toyota is the most fuel-efficient full-line auto manufacturer in the industry. And we have the lowest ownership cost of any full-line car brand. And right now, get 1.9% APR financing for an amazing 60 months on a fuel-efficient new 2011 Camry. Or lease one for $239 a month. We're #1 for a reason. Come see for yourself. Hurry in for the best selection.
This season, Baby Hope's been through a lot, but Fox Tuesday.
The plot thickens.
With homemade facelifts.
She's putting tape on her face. How do I look?
Plus, can Baby pull off her first music video? Oh, yeah. Jamie Presley guest stars on an all-new Raising Hope. Tuesday after Glee on Fox.
Fox Wednesday. It's down to the final 4, and they'll be mentored by one of the biggest singers in the world, Lady Gaga.
I'm going all the way.
Go for it, man. Don't hold back. Just go for it.
I feel like I'm here for a reason.
Anybody who doesn't know that they can fail is bound to win.
I want to stay true to me and be me.
I know you can go further.
I am here to win this thing.
The finale's almost here.
Vote for your favorite and keep them safe.
Who do you love? Vote for your idol live Wednesday on Fox.
Rooney and Manchester United take on Messi and Barcelona. The UEFA Champions League final, live from Wembley, May 28th, only on Fox.
Cubs with 2 in the bottom of the ninth inning to beat Cincinnati 3-2. And now it's time for the Valvoline next-gen right play of the game. A game-winning base hit back up through the middle by Kosuke Fukudome. And the Cubs even this series at 1 game apiece. With a finale tomorrow, Johnny Cueto makes his 2011 debut against the former Red, Ryan Dempster. Tonight, it's NASCAR Sprint Cup Series racing from Darlington. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, with a pre-race show delivered by Pizza Hut. Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Lowe's continues next weekend. We go to prime time. The Red Sox and Yankees, the Giants and Cubs, the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. It all begins next Saturday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Promotional consideration paid for by the following. For more information on this game and the latest in Major League Baseball, log on to foxsports.com on MSN, the world's favorite sports site. Our producer, Pete Majestic, our director, Bill Webb, for Tim McCarver, Chris Rose, and our entire crew, Thom Brennaman saying so long from Chicago. You've been watching Fox Sports, exclusive home of the 2011 All-Star Game and World Series. Happy Mother's Day, moms out the world. Have a great weekend.
The Yankees battle the Red Sox in prime time. Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Lowe's. Next week, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. on Fox, live from Darlington, tonight.
We are Fox Sports!